Elliot in the morning. Your phone number for everything. 866-2-ELLIOT. 866-235-5468. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how are we today? Good. Hey, Kaylee, will you do me a favor? I don't know if art history majors would be up this early, but anybody who was an art history major, boy, I got a horrible hum in my right ear. Anybody that was a art history major, I could use somebody, please. Yeah, very simple. 866-2-ELLIOT, 866-235-5468. And again, I don't know if I'll find anybody that's up that early that's a art history major. But anyway, I do need you. Diane, how was your night last night?
Well, we have the excitement in the neighborhood, obviously.
Oh, did they find out what the story is there?
I mean, just...
What's the name of that park? Beverly Park?
Yeah.
The Pit.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the park every kid plays in.
Right. Everybody from in that area goes to that park.
Yeah. And that's maybe a 5-minute walk.
Right. And so they found the dude's throat slashed.
Yeah, like underneath like this like playground like slide, like one of those, you know, like little like bridge between the two little kind of house type structures. You know
Was the listserv nuts?
Surprisingly, not that bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They go crazy over like stupid things like leaf pickup.
Yeah, sure.
Murder in the neighborhood.
No big deal. But I saw it was all over the news yesterday.
Yeah.
And they're no further along.
I mean, they didn't. I don't know. They were wondering whether if the guy was killed there, if his body,
or if he was killed and then dumped there.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's it. But I saw like they had all the tape up and everything was shut down.
I know.
Yeah, that's nasty.
I know.
That is nasty. Wait, am I going to line one? Good. Art history major. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Good morning.
Hey, who is this?
Alicia.
Hey, Alicia, how are you?
Excellent. How are you?
Oh, just wonderful, thank you. Alicia, you are big in the world of art history?
Yes.
Yes, excellent. Do you know the name? Now, forgive me because I'm not going to be able to pronounce it. Amadeo, that part I got. Modigliani?
No.
What do you mean, no?
I don't know.
That name that's not a famous name in the world of art?
Not that I can remember. I changed majors. I was an art history major, and now I'm majoring in like international affairs.
Yeah, right. But that name never popped out?
I don't remember it.
You know, I was just, by the way, I have no idea who he is.
What were you reading?
Thank you, Diane. I was reading that he just had a piece of his artwork sell and they talk about it hitting the rarefied air of 9 figures. It just sold for $170 million at auction, like one of his famed art pieces. Now, I don't know a lot about art. I know Van Gogh, Renoir, the guy who makes the melted clocks. And I think I'm out. I don't know the guy who did and then who was that one who did like everybody said his paintings were garbage, but he died like a handful of years ago. No, not Monet. He was the dot guy. No, not Picasso, but I do know that name. No, he was like the guy who had... It doesn't matter. But you don't know who Modigliani is?
Modigliani, no.
Yeah. He became the 10th work of art to sell for 9 figures. It took 9 minutes to sell, with the bid coming from a Chinese buyer who was on the phone. He wasn't even in the place.
How long has this guy been dead?
I don't know anything about him. I don't, honestly. I've never even heard of him at all. All I know is that the art that sold is a big Cugini. That's it.
It's more than that.
Okay, it's a woman who's laying on her back, tigs up, and there's the Cugini. Look at that. That sold for $170 million. What am I missing?
I mean, we think of that every time.
Okay, but that Diane,
never
heard of this guy. Never heard of him. I've heard of Monet. I've heard of Picasso. I've heard of Renoir and Rembrandt. I've never heard of that. And it's a naked chick. And by the way, there's not I don't even know what what's special about it. She's for I'm assuming is an old piece of art. She's got a very groomed region there.
Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, so you think it was so cutting edge back then where it wasn't a big old babushka. But I don't understand why I could draw a naked woman. I mean, not like that, but I could draw a naked woman. I don't understand why that sells for 170. Like, what made that so famous?
His nudes.
I'm gonna have to Google it and then call you guys back.
Just look at the picture. I mean, that's all that really matters. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Tyler. His nudes.
His
You caught me
nudes
there.
are regarded as among the ultimate trophy paintings of the 20th century.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he's known for nude artwork.
It says, with some collectors concerned about a bubble in the market for so-called cutting-edge contemporary art,
Thank you.
investment-conscious buyers have been looking for blue-chip names from earlier periods.
Now, now let me ask you this: are you hanging that?
If you spend that much money on it.
Yeah, but you're not hanging that in the living room. Hey, nice beaver. I mean, what do you do with that? Seriously, when you see that, aren't you surprised that thing sold for $170 million?
Jesus, so he had a sculpture sell
Was it nude? Yeah, I mean, that's what he's known for.
for $70 million.
Did he really? I'm assuming this guy's dead.
Yeah. And then a portrait sell for $43 million.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Man, I went the wrong way.
What, you should have majored art history?
I should have. Well, but don't all artists
or made a lot of money to be a collector?
No. To be an artist, I should have cared about that class.
Mm-hmm.
But was he like one of those where he died poor? Look at that thing. By the way, wait, hold on. Can you go back to the picture for a second? Because I didn't notice. Little bit of stubble under the arm. Lots of stubble at the Y.
That was worth going back to the painting for.
Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hi, Elliot. I was just calling to say the painter you were thinking of with the dots is Jackson Pollock.
Yes, that's exactly who I was thinking of.
And also the art history or kind of major. Yeah, Modigliani is huge. It's kind of weird she hadn't heard. I took an art appreciation class and I knew that. So
wait,
that
so
was all.
you know this guy for his nudes?
Well, yeah, I one class in school and they talked about Modigliani right up there when they were talking about Michelangelo.
Oh, really?
Absolutely.
The
Very well-known artist.
Well, no, I'll argue that. But when you look at the picture, it doesn't look like old. I don't know how old this dude is, but it doesn't look like old late. It looks like a very, obviously it's very sexual, but it doesn't look like old 16th century art. It looks like.
And that's what I was going to say with my class. From what I can remember, that's why he was revered, because of the attention to detail he paid to bodies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a lot of detail, including the pubic hair.
It was also from the early 1900s.
Oh, so he's not old.
No.
So he could have just recently died. I don't know how long he lived.
Yeah, like I said, it was just an art appreciation class, but I recognized the name and I knew Jackson Pollock, so.
Oh, very good. But you're telling me Modigliani is as famous as Rembrandt?
Anyone that's in the art world knows who Modigliani is. 100%. As soon as you said his name, I knew how to spell it, and I Googled it to see what you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, it's the one where it's the chick laying on her back with her Tiggs and Cugine. Yeah, that's $170 million. I can't even imagine that.
$170 million.
Can't even imagine. First of all, who the hell's got that kind of money that they're just buying a $170 million naked picture? I have 5 decks of playing cards in my desk that have to be worth something. They all look like that. They're playmates laying naked.
Oh, God.
At the exact same thing. All right, very good. I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, yes, Tyler.
Well, first you said yes, ma'am.
Well, no, I was thanking her by saying yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. Born in 1884, died in 1920.
84. Oh, so he didn't live very long.
35.
Oh, boy. How did he go? Does it say? He kill himself?
It's a pretty safe bet.
It is, right? They're all crazy.
Let's see.
They all flip out.
No. Meningitis.
Oh, whoops. Although I will say this, it's a nicer painting than the melting clocks. Who was that guy? Denali? Dolly.
And then
Last week.
That I don't remember
We went over
the
that.
guy's
Fox,
name.
And then Escher, wasn't he the one with the stairs?
Escher.
With,
yeah, I don't know.
You know
I don't
what I'm
know.
talking
Line. I
Wow,
have
this
no
is
idea.
crazy.
Wait, hold
in
on.
the winter of 1918 to 1919, The desperate Modigliani offered to sell the entire contents of his Paris studio, which included the work that went for $170 million yesterday.
How much did he go to sell it for?
For $300.
That's
which
it?
today would have been $4,700.
So for $5,000, you could have walked away with everything he had.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Pretend that you don't know that the Cugini picture sold for $170 million.
Which you wouldn't have.
No, you wouldn't have known back then.
Obviously. Yeah.
Would you have spent $5,000 on that picture?
Well, what was he like in his time?
What do you mean? Young.
It said he was desperate.
Right. Yeah, so he was a
But were
poor
there some
artist.
people who appreciated it?
No, he was going to sell it for $300. Nobody wanted it.
I'm not up on my...
Nobody was willing to part with $300
early
to get all of
20th
that.
century
By the
French
way,
artist. Or
I hope-
Italian. Is he Italian? He's got to be.
Well, his studio, if I remember correctly, was in Paris.
Yeah, but his name, though.
Oh, Amadeo is definitely, that's
I was
Italian.
thinking more Modigliani.
Hi, Elliot, in the morning.
Hi, is this me?
Yeah, hi, who's this?
I was wondering about that first art history major. Was he a 10th grade art history major? Didn't know who Modigliani was?
Oh, slam, dude, slam.
Jeez.
Hey, are you an art history major?
Not even. I'm a cab driver.
But you know Modigliani?
Sure.
How?
That's just being just reading, paying attention.
I feel like I read. I'll tell you what, Modigliani's never been in ESPN the magazine. Because then I would have remembered the name. That I would have known. Are you hip to Modigliani's work?
I'm sorry?
Are you hip to Modigliani's work?
I mean, he was okay. Yeah. He was like Rubin and those cats.
Yeah, Reuben. By the way, I'd kill a Reuben right now. I'm so hungry.
You go sandwich.
I went stutter.
All right, dude. Hey, listen, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you, sir.
All right, bye.
Hey, where are you? Hello. Yeah, damn it, I lost you. That's okay, no big deal. One other thing, if I could update real quickly. And by the way, if you want to see what $170 million worth of naked painting looks like, Tyler has posted that picture. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Wouldn't have spent $5,000 for it back in the day, though. $300, I could have had the whole goddamn studio, including the sculpture that sold for, what'd you say, $70 million? And then the portrait for $40? I'd be rolling in it. Has there ever been an artist that's died rich?
I mean...
Or did they all die poor?
Look, somebody like Andy Warhol, I think he was rich when he died.
Oh, that's a good call, Diane. That's a good call.
Like Mapplethorpe.
I don't know who that is. Oh, that was the guy who had all the twig pictures.
And fisting.
Oh, the fisting. That's right. Yeah, no, he was very big into the sex world. But I bet he didn't die rich. I bet that all took off after he died. Oh, wait, line 5. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Morning, Elliot.
Hey, who's this?
This is Sean.
Hey, Sean.
I rented a house to a woman. Good morning. I rented a house to an 80-year-old woman. She's 80 now, who claimed she dated Modigliani. She was Jewish, and she said that Modigliani was Jewish, not Italian.
Okay, well, Italian, I mean, Jewish is your religion. It's not where you're from.
I get it. You could be Italian and Jewish, but he definitely was Jewish. And this lady, I'm going to call her Babs.
Right.
Babs Sachs, claimed she dated him. And
No
she's
kidding.
like 80 years old now.
So, and she was a lover of Modigliani?
Yes, and he had many, she said.
Oh, really? Well, he was very artsy. Of course he did.
Yeah, he was a player. He often had a rivalry with Picasso.
Oh, no kidding.
Claimed his work was crap. And
Hey, now let me ask you this. Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go. Hold on. Tyler has found some info. Modigliani was born into a Sephardic Jewish family in Livorno, Italy.
See?
Yeah, there you go. Hey, did she say that he was a madman in the bed?
Absolutely, and she did not like the movie. The movie was played by Andy Garcia. She hated the movie. She said it was all bunk.
Was that My Left Foot?
No, it was a movie on Modigliani.
Oh, I don't know. You say that
that was Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay, but you say the movie like I would know what the movie is. I've never even heard of the guy.
Well, you need to watch the movie.
Well, here you go. Tyler just pulled up the movie poster for me, and there's Andy Garcia as Modigliani.
Yeah, she.
By
said
the way,
it was
just
all bunk.
based on the movie poster, it looks boring. It
Yeah,
looks
you
really.
wouldn't like it.
Yeah, no, that's not up my alley at all. Now, listen, I don't know who Bab Sachs is, but maybe she's the woman who he painted the $170 million picture on.
Maybe that's her in the painting.
Can't rule it out. All right, dude. Hey, listen, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you, my friend. All right, let me do this. Let me take a quick break. Boy, I hate to start with art history like that, but listen.
Hey, what in the
$170 million bush on a piece of canvas?
Now you're talking.
I am all about it. All right, let me do this. Let me take a quick break. We got a ton of stuff we got to get through today, so give me one quick break. We'll lay everything out for you next. Got to get through today. Our buddy Stephen Kellogg will be in here about an hour and a half from now. Stephen will be in here. Show tonight at the Hamilton. It's got a brand new record that'll be out in February if you want to just make a note. But he'll be in here a little bit later on, so we'll get some live music in the studio. Like I said, he'll be in here in an hour and a half. That'll be right after we give away $500. With Elliot in the Mornings, November Wham! Keep in mind, $500 every single day. We'll do that through Thanksgiving. Also, I have more tickets for you to go to Elliot in the Morning's holiday concert. It's going to be here before you know it. So you will get yourself tickets for that. Also, remember, when you win those tickets, you also get passes to go backstage and meet Bastille. So we're doing that all this week. First time winners coming up in a little bit. I got copies of WWE 2K16 for you. A couple of good stories that we got to get through today. And also, as we get into news, we were talking about it early yesterday, about how I had never signed a petition, and I was all excited to sign the petition to force Phil Collins back into retirement. Well, son of a bitch, they closed the petition.
How many signatures?
Just under 5,000. But they closed it after the creator of the petition called it, quote, a silly joke. Come on! Don't joke around about something so serious. You can't make a joke about something that means so much to people. You can't do that. And he said, most of the people that signed it understood that it was just tongue-in-cheek. Oh, no, sir. Those are people that want him back into retirement. So, yeah, that came down. I went to try to sign up yesterday, and the whole petition came down. So, yeah, I guess he'll continue. Yeah, 4,352 signatures before they closed it, saying it's a silly joke. It's not a joke to me. That was serious. I took that one serious. That was going to be the first real petition that I was going to sign, other than that one on the street and the one to say Party of Five. This was going to be the first real one that I did. So I apologize to everybody else that tried to sign the petition yesterday to keep Phil Collins in retirement. By the way, when you look at that picture of him, doesn't he just look like a putz?
Maybe it was your push and the traffic
that stormed the site. That could be.
You
know what? Thank you.
Where the creator was like, whoa. This started as a joke, but it's turned into something serious.
There we go. You know what? I like that. That's how I'm going to read into it. So you know what? We did it. Message delivered loud and clear.
Much respect. Bug.
All right, Diane, let's get into some news, please.
About that time for another Republican debate. That'll be on Fox Business Channel tonight.
You're going to have to hunt a little bit to find that.
No idea where that is.
Now, I do know that the people at Fox have also said, for those of you, parenthetically, most of you that don't get Fox Business Channel,
that's not on my basic?
I don't know. I don't know that I get it. I have no idea. Although Cox doesn't get anything. But they are going to, I believe they're going to stream it at their FBN site. So you can watch it there. But now, I do believe a lot of cable networks do have the Fox Business Network. But that's your Neil Cavuto is one of the moderators. Mm-hmm. Kennedy is one of the moderators, and then...
So that's not a joke?
No,
Kennedy is a host on the Fox Business Channel. She goes on with Shep every day on Studio B.
I know she's part of the Fox family.
Yes. Well, not part of the Fox family. She's part of the Fox Business.
I haven't seen her name written anywhere.
Oh, you'll see her. And then...
maybe she's like going to be in the social media lounge.
Oh, she may be. They may throw to her for a question, like when they brought in Jim Cramer when he was screaming last time. And then Maria
Bartiromo.
Yep. She's also. So you get Neil and his two angels will be hosting the debate tonight. Our friend Patricia Murphy will be on with us tomorrow, so we'll go over it. 2 hours tonight. That starts at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Yeah. So you'll have to you'll pull a late nighter tonight to see everything go down.
But you'll tune in at 7. to see the undercard too.
No, I won't. I won't because I have the Caps Red Wings game tonight, and I have to see if Ovechkin breaks the record. But I did email back and forth with Patricia yesterday. Because I explained it's very important I watch the hockey game. She will watch the undercard tonight. Good. Yeah, so she'll be able to fill us in there.
There is a murder mystery that is brewing in Philadelphia that's getting a lot of attention. 2 people found shot to death inside a parked SUV were having sex when they were killed, and they believe that the 2 victims were targeted by the gunman. They have identified the 2 victims as Shakur Arlene and Lisa Smith. Apparently they had worked together at a previous job, but had maintained some sort of on and off relationship for the last couple of years.
So they were parked at Fairmount Park.
Yeah. Do you know that park?
Yeah, made famous by the song "Summertime" by Will Smith. But yeah, no, I mean it's a big park in Philly, and so I guess they went and parked in the park in their SUV, and they climbed in the back seat and took all their clothes off, and they were having sex, and somebody opens the door. Who, like you said, targeted, like believed that it was somebody who knew the 2 of them, and was pissed off about it, opened the door, and based on what I was reading from the Philadelphia Police Department, it was a hail of bullets that ended up killing the 2 people that were banging in the back of the SUV. And then I guess the hunt's on for whoever it was.
Right.
Or at least that was the last I saw.
No suspects at this time, no formal suspects at this time, but obviously they are looking at their other relationships as they're trying to figure out who is to blame for those murders. Fraternity at the University of Virginia now suing Rolling Stone magazine for that story about a sexual assault at a fraternity party that turned out to be untrue. Phi Kappa Psi wants $25 million in their lawsuit against Rolling Stone, along with Wenner Media, Straight Arrow's publishers, and Sabrina Erdley. The suit is also seeking $1,000 in punitive damages. They said this article, which was from November of last year's issue, the student known as Jackie, described a brutal gang rape at the fraternity house back in September of 2012. But on further investigation, it was turned out that the story was untrue. The lawsuit says the article made the fraternity and its fraternity members the object of the avalanche of condemnation worldwide. And then there's other lawsuits, obviously, that are also in the works. There's a federal lawsuit that the fraternity members, 3 of them, have filed. And then there's the $7.5 million lawsuit from the Dean of Students, who's also suing Rolling Stone.
Yeah, so either Wenner Media is going to start trying to settle everything out, or they're going to get hit hard.
Yeah. Apparently there was a plot foiled by federal officials that apparently was targeting bombing and shooting up black churches and synagogues in Virginia, as well as a plot to kill a jewelry dealer and rob an armored car. So this was all taken into consideration by the FBI, and it was foiled after a big sting operation that happened on Sunday. They said that all of a sudden they're in this quiet neighborhood in Chesterfield, and this barrage of police cars just descended on this one neighborhood. They said at least 2 people and a possible 3rd suspect are looking at court dates later on at the end of the week. So this was all foiled because they met with a federal agent who was posing as an arms dealer, and they were going to buy all this ammunition and weapons from
they were set to load up with stuff, and so the FBI agent or the federal agent was playing the part of, all right, I'll sell you a bunch of arms and ammo and everything that you need. And they were going back and forth a couple of times, and then when everything was set and ready to go for a little deposit on Sunday, that's when it all came down.
Breaking Bad is expanding into Washington, D.C. The cast and creators of that Emmy Award-winning show will be on hand at the National Museum of American History today, donating a bunch of memorabilia to the Smithsonian. Among the items coming in, Heisenberg's hat, as well as a bunch of the gas masks and lab suits that were worn by Walter White and Jesse Pinkman.
That's cool.
Yeah. Target announcing yesterday they'll be opening their doors at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving. So if people want to have maybe an early dinner and then go out and get a little shopping done, or you can just go through Target.com.
Right. So are they not doing Friday? Who was the one that said that they're going to be closed on Friday?
REI.
REI, that's right. That's right. So they'll still do Black Friday.
Oh, yeah.
But instead of waiting for the midnight stampede, they'll open up at 6 p.m.
Right. And apparently Bed Bath & Beyond has been having their own financial issues in the last couple of years. Now, apparently, they are promising to scale back on their 20% off coupons. Hell no.
Oh, well, thank you, Tyler and Diane.
Well, I mean...
Thank you. You put the company under.
I probably have like 12 of them. Well, then don't accept them if they're expired.
That is the dumbest thing they ever did.
They'll take a coupon that's 20 years old.
The Bye Bye Baby doesn't accept expired coupons. It's the same umbrella. It doesn't make sense why they let people use expired coupons.
Oh, so wait, Bye Bye Baby doesn't do that?
No.
So it's just Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah.
And it could be as old as, it could be 30 years old. They'll still take it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no wonder they're in trouble.
I was going to say, I probably have a stack of at least 20 of them at home.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All expired.
Yeah.
But they still take them.
Because every time you go in there, it's either you get them mailed to you with their little, circular whatever thing, or they have them in magazines too. They're everywhere.
Killed the Gap. I used to take all my ripped up jeans back there. They'll still take them.
Oh, that's right.
They'd take anything. I used to bring my white T-shirts with big yellow armpits. Take it right back into the Gap. They'd have no problem.
Were they like the Nordstrom of their day? You could
swap you out a
return
bright
anything?
white. It was great.
Apparently, Crayola is now getting into the business of this coloring book fad.
Right.
They said they are also
we were so all over that years ago.
launching their own line of coloring books for adults and the coloring materials. So very, intricate designs like we have seen in those popular coloring books. And you're also going to have watercolors.
Right. When you pull out your
pens.
Christmas list on your yellow sheet of paper, don't write that next to my name. Don't need any of those. I'm good.
There's a whole riser of them at Michael's. They've got a million of them.
No kidding.
Yep. Michael's honors their coupons too. Apparently, the people at The View are trying to help that hemorrhaging show. Now they want to bring Gwyneth Paltrow on.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Goodbye. Could you imagine? It's like they don't know what to do.
Right. So they're just dying. They're in trouble.
Well, they've been dying.
Right. Ever since what's her face left again?
Rosie?
Yeah. Although they were dying with her.
I thought you said it was when Hasselbeck left.
I did say the day that she announced she was leaving, that's the end of the show.
Billy Idol announcing he's going to do one of those residencies in Vegas, 12 dates in March and May at the House of Blues.
Who the hell's going to that show?
Inside Mandalay Bay. He'll be there with Steve Stevens.
12 days. Who's going to that?
I mean, people go.
There's a million shows.
Yeah.
I can go see Elton John. I can go see Britney Spears.
Sold out. Let's just go see Billy.
No, how about let's just go to a casino? Let's just go have dinner, go to a casino, and eat. I don't need to go see Billy Idol do 12 nights.
Part of Vegas.
I don't get it.
You got to go to a show when you're out there.
I've never been to a show in Vegas.
Time to keep watching on the lotteries, too, because Mega Millions has quietly crept up to $180 million for tonight's drawing. You buy tickets.
I'm on it.
You write down debate and Mega Millions tickets.
Hockey, Mega Millions, debate.
So we got the first live episode of The Voice last night ever since Gwen and Blake admitted that they are together. There's a little bit of innocent flirting between the two.
First of all, I think the last time you cut somebody's hair on this show, Gwen, they won.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up with the person, but they ended up winning. But I'll tell you,
Adam.
Oh my God.
I hate him so much. I'm sorry, friend.
Boy, I'm sorry I missed that.
Awkward between the two.
Boy, am I sorry I missed that.
And then people are saying now that he's going to be hosting the Kids' Choice Awards.
Who is? Blake?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
They announced that. That's like him trying to get in with
her kids?
Gwen's kids.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
No. I called this thing from the beginning. I was all over from the beginning.
Is it one big stunt? That's the way a lot of people are moving now.
Wait, it's one big stunt for what?
Just their careers.
No. He doesn't need any help.
I popped it on. I saw that live. The way they were interacting, it just seems so fake.
Their relationship?
Yeah.
No, it's just they're very awkward together. They're very awkward.
Well, Adam does that to couples. Pharrell wanted no part of it.
No, I don't blame it because you're making a mockery of somebody's life. Gavin's at home. Well, Gavin's at home probably with 4 or 5 women right now. But yeah, no, making a mockery of somebody's life.
Chargers have now lost 5 in a row as they fell to the Bears 22-19 for Monday Night Football. The Saints have a new backup quarterback. They're bringing in Matt Flynn to replace Luke McCown, who will need surgery on his injured back. Caps in Detroit tonight to play Mike Green and the Red Wings. So
yes.
Mike Green is playing?
Mike Green is back. He is playing. Well, maybe. They haven't made it through morning skate. But he's supposed to be playing. And then obviously all eyes will be on Ovechkin to see whether or not he breaks the NHL record for most goals scored in the NHL by a Russian-born player. I believe Sergei Fedorov will be at the Joe tonight to watch the game and be there for Ovechkin if he sets the new record.
Also, Gary Bettman talking yesterday saying there's no timeline for the Board of Governors to make a decision about expansion into Vegas, Quebec City, or both. He said the league has about a year left before they have to decide on players playing in the next Olympics as well. Ken Griffey Jr., Trevor Hoffman headlining the 15 newcomers on this year's Hall of Fame ballot. Other first-year names of note, Mike Hampton, Billy Wagner. Players need to get 75% of the writers' votes in order for induction.
Ken Griffey's in and Hoffman's in. The other ones are iffy at best, but those two will definitely get in.
Also, former Braves pitcher Tommy Hanson passed away.
Yeah, that's sad.
At the age of 29.
29 years old. I think he spent 1 year in L.A. Everybody knows him as a member of the Atlanta Braves. When he came in, I think he was finished top 3 voting for like Rookie of the Year, and he was a beast. After that, he kind of slowed off a little bit. Like I said, he ended up getting traded at the end of his career. 29 years old. Organ failure. Catastrophic organ failure is what they call it. Sunday, he went to the hospital, fell into a coma, and that was it.
Wow.
Everything just kind of shut down.
Wizards taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at Verizon Center. Bradley Beal listed as questionable for tonight's game. 76ers still haven't won a game this year. They fell to the Bulls 111-88 last night. Pelicans looking for their first win of the season when they play the Mavericks for the completion of their home.
Right, so you have 3 teams that haven't won a game. The Sixers, the Nets, and the Pelicans. Mm-hmm. Pelicans will try tonight. And then on the other side, you have the Golden State Warriors, who rattled off their 8th straight last night.
Yep. That is a look at news and sports.
Kevin, good morning.
Kevin, how are you, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing excellent, thank you. And Kevin, let me ask you something. What'd you end up doing last night?
I actually kicked off my boys' 3rd grade, 4th grade basketball season. Met a bunch of really cool kids, and looking forward to a good couple of months with them.
You know what? Good for you. Good for you. Like hearing that. That's awesome. All right, so Kevin, here's 2 things. Number 1, I am going to give you a copy of WWE 2K16. You'll choose whether you want that for your PS4, your Xbox One. Doesn't matter to me. But you get a copy of that. Let me hit pause for a second. Tyler, I thought of you yesterday, or this morning, I should say. I saw a clip of WWE in England of Wayne Rooney going after one of the wrestlers. I guess they have a Monday Night Raw in England as well. Uh-huh. But I know you like your international soccer and your international WWE. So when you get to combine the two of them, I thought that you would appreciate that. So I brought the video in for you.
Where is it? I didn't see it.
Where did I see it? I can't remember where I saw it. But there's some dude some guy I don't know. I have no idea who the guy is. But he gets up in Rooney's face, and Rooney shoves him right to the ground. Right to the ground.
Wade Barrett?
Oh, Wade Barrett, sure. Shoved him right down. You see the video, right? Yeah. Oh, Wayne goes right after him. Right after him. Also, Kevin, let me ask you something. On a scale of 1 to 3, rate your... Well, how old are you?
48.
48. All right, very good. On a scale of 1 to 3, rate your happiness.
3.
You know what? I like hearing that. You know what? Good for you. Good for you. All right.
You know what? You know what would make me even happier?
Well, don't say $500. I don't have that right now.
Hey, could I get a T-shirt for my daughter, Kaylee? She's a big fan. She's a sophomore in high school.
You know what? Let me see. I don't know if I have any right now. Like I've been saying, all my money is tied up in cash right now. So you hold tight 1 second, though. I definitely have the video game for you. So hold tight 1 second for me, all right, bro?
All right, thank you.
Hey, you got it, Kevin. Hold on 1 second. Let me go to line 6. Hi, Elliot, in the morning.
Hey, this is John. What's going on, Elliot?
John, how are you, sir?
I'm good. Yourself?
I am doing excellent, thank you. John, what'd you end up doing last night?
I did some homework and looked online for a new motorcycle.
I like half of those things. What homework are you doing?
It was U.S. geography, actually. It wasn't too bad, but it was the last exam of the semester, so I got 3 classes left, so it was a good thing.
Where are you going to school?
Online. It's a Fort Hays State University.
Oh, you know what? Good for you. And what motorcycle are you looking for?
I'm not really sure. That's the issue, man. I ride a Star Raider right now, but I'm looking to get something a little bit smaller, a little bit lighter. So I'm looking at a Bolt. I'm not really sure yet.
Dude, good for you. That's awesome. And now's a good time. I mean, listen, I know obviously winter's rolling around, But now's a good time in terms of it being cost effective. Now's an awesome time, so good for you. John, how old are you? I didn't get your age.
I'm 36.
36. Rate your happiness on a scale of 1 to 3.
1 to 3?
Yeah.
I'd say 2, 2.5. It's not perfect, but I can't complain.
All right, 2.5. I'll take that. Here's what I don't understand. I was reading this thing yesterday. I believe it was the University of Chicago did this whole study, and they found out, and it's the first time in like forever that people once they hit the age of 30 now are more miserable than any time in the history. So most of the time, like you'll get a number of people in their 30s, and every kind of decade and generation, people get happier as they get older.
Right.
This is the first time they've seen those numbers go backwards. I don't get it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's people going through life.
Let's call it stuff like that, if you don't mind.
Filter, my bad.
But doesn't that seem like a bummer, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to be miserable at 30?
Yeah, you gotta take the half full perspective, I think. Man.
Always time to make lemonade. Always time to make lemonade.
Chicken salad.
I'm with you there too. No, and listen, I get that. Listen, not every day is a big.
But an overall.
Yeah, an overall view. I would put myself at a 3.
Would you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely above a 2.5. Although I do, I'm gonna have to drop myself to a 2.75.
Why?
Because I do carry a lot of anger with me.
Yeah.
I do carry a ton of anger with me, but it's very...
But only 0.25.
Yeah, but it's very directed. Like, it's very, very directed. Mm-hmm. Of my 0.25, 0.99 is at this building. But other than that, like, I feel like I'm good to go. Like, I feel like I'm...
If you were taking my call a little while ago, it probably would have been a 0.5 because I was in traffic on 66 before the accident. But after the accident, life improved.
Exactly. Now you're smooth sailing. Now you are good to go. Good to
he
go.
He lives in the moment.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. Even if you live in the moment, you should be good.
No, if you live in the moment, you can find yourself
in a 1
weighed down by traffic.
Oh, yeah. See, but for my anger, hey, hold tight 1 second. Hold on 1 second. I feel like for my anger, I live in the moment.
No.
No, because a lot of it is grudge based.
But I don't let the grudge kick in until the show ends. That's not true. That's not true.
You actually work harder to not think of grudges than you do on the actual show.
So maybe I shouldn't be a 3. Maybe I'm lying to myself.
What was the scale again?
1 to 3, which is a very narrow berth.
Well, you said you're a 2.75. Could you do that?
What, be a 2.75?
No, are you allowed to suggest that you're a decimal?
Oh, totally. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so you could do a half. I mean, I would keep it at quarter breakdowns. So you could do halves and quarters, sure. Where are you?
I'd say about 2.5.
Ooh. Why are you so down?
That's not down. They're talking about people who are like 1s and less than 1s.
Yeah, well, those are angry people. Why are you so low? 2.5, I feel like it's...
2.5 is not low, and you're lying about being 2.7.
That's a hair above, like, right? That's a hair above meh.
Not really.
No, I don't think I'm lying about 2.75. I don't think I am.
But then you cite examples where you would think that you're not exactly at that number.
My anger is very high.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm upset. I love living. You know that. I do. I love living, but I do carry around a decent amount of anger. I think that anger is what makes me happy. Ugh, on my mother.
I don't think so.
Jesus Christ.
What did she call?
No, but she's not happy unless she's miserable. But like I'm generally a very happy person. I feel like I am.
I mean, everybody knows people like that.
Yeah, no, but I'm not. It would be unfair to say I'm only happy when I'm angry.
You're only happy when it rains.
I'm hangry. I'll tell you that. I ate very early yesterday. I ate dinner at 4:00 yesterday.
Why?
Poor you.
Tyler's fasting today.
Oh,
yeah.
Religious reasons.
What do you have today?
A blood test.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, for a physical that's coming up.
Oh, okay. Oh, that sucks that you can't eat.
And they said no coffee this time.
Why not?
I think that's a big push. Because a lot of people think it's cool to do black coffee, but it seems... Oh, Kaylee's saying that she's getting that too now.
Wait, what is that?
Yeah.
Like only water.
Wait,
Only
the last
water.
time you got your physical, you couldn't have black coffee?
Sucks.
Well, just tell them. How do they know?
By the difference in your blood.
So what are they going
want
to do? They're going to come back and
fasting blood work.
What time did you eat last night? Midnight?
It was bad.
11:30?
It was 10:30, and I had chips and queso.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was like, because I thought...
You know what? Good for you for making queso at 10:30.
Make queso? Threw it in the microwave.
Yeah, you were still cooking.
Was it the stuff in the can?
Yeah.
Okay, you could have still gone. You still could have gone with
you could have
something
just
cold.
had salsa.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I knew it would give me a stomach ache, and I wouldn't be hungry this morning. So I'm not hungry at all. I just want some coffee.
Do you have a stomach ache?
Yeah.
Well, you're all bound up with cheese. They're going to go to give you a physical, and he's going to like hit a plug.
Physical is not today.
They just do blood work
is
today.
next week. Yes.
Oh, that sucks. You got to go twice?
That's how it works.
My doctor does it, knocks it all out in the same day.
Well, then they can call you with the results of your blood work, or you can go over it face to face when you're doing the physical.
Mr. Siegel, why don't you come in, please?
I've never seen these numbers before.
Anyway, you were saying about being hangry?
Yeah. Oh, so are you hangry?
It's also affecting my voice.
Kaylee, where am I going? Line 1?
Did they break it down?
Hold tight. Sorry, that's not line 1. Did they break it down?
Men versus women?
Women tend to be a skosh happier than men. Not significantly, but like they tend to be happier than men.
And are you still talking about the 30-somethings or overall?
Over the age of 30.
Yeah.
And so they break it down by pre-30, post-30. And normally every decade they've seen where once you hit 30, you're happier than when you were in your 20s. And that this is the first time that this, and I guess the University of Chicago does this study all the time. And this is the first time they've seen where once you hit 30, you're more unhappy than you were in your 20s. Where most of the time in your 20s, you become more happy when you hit your 30s. Reminiscing-wise, I don't know if that's true. Love my 20s. Love my 30s. I'm loving life. I don't know about my 40s yet.
20s were easier. They're just like less.
No, 20s sucked, man. Couldn't
no.
pay rent.
No, I mean, but less
Ate
responsibility.
a pizza for an entire week. Yeah, less responsibility. Yes, I'll give you that. Party time was more fun in your 20s.
Yes.
Not having a wife and kids was more fun in the 20s. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to have that in my 20s. But I couldn't afford to pay rent in my 20s.
Right.
I drove around in a car that was knifed to death in my 20s. No, like, life in 20s, it was fun because you cared about different things. But I wouldn't take that now.
Well, it's different when you live through it, and then you can look back on it.
Okay, well, I'm living through my 30s.
30s,
like, aren't you
much
happier
more
in your 30s than you were in your 20s?
Yeah.
I don't mean just the whole sentimental thing of like, oh, now I have kids and they've given me new life. Like, I'm not even talking about that.
I need a new answer then.
No. I mean, yes, having kids is awesome. And being married's all right.
Yeah, those are things that make me happy.
Right.
Yeah.
And yes, there are times in your 20s that are freaking awesome.
Knuckles.
Amen.
But
but
that was satire.
Wait, what do you mean? You didn't like your 20s?
No, okay. I wasn't really looking to give you Knuckles on the 20s.
Oh, well then come up high.
No, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
No, but
I'm hangry.
I'm sweaty. It's very warm in the room
right now. I'm a -1 if I'm living in the moment.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, it's no fun not being able to pay your rent. It's no fun having bill collectors call you all the time.
Yeah, but there are plenty of people in their 30s who are struggling with the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
and
for
not
myself,
everybody in their 20s
for
don't
myself.
Like
that's why I would be happier now.
Yeah, you feel more settled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More secure.
There you go.
Yeah. I have a much better job in my 30s than I did in my 20s.
Right.
Which still could go at any moment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. 2.25.
More debt?
2.25. No, not at all.
Impending.
Because I'm paying my $39 a month. I have no debt.
What about the cost of children?
That's expensive.
1.5.
In your 20s, you're not thinking about that?
No. But you don't have money. You don't have money for cost of children.
Yeah, and when you have children, you have no money.
That's true, too. I wouldn't worry about saving for anybody else's college in my 20s.
Knock it down.
I'm at a half right now. I'm at a half. I'm barely getting by.
You skipped the ones? You went right from 2 to half?
2 1/4 down to a half. Yeah. I don't like parting with my money. I don't like doing that. Some Zappos box showed up at my house yesterday, and I swear to God I was going to take it and burn it.
It's a pair of shoes.
Don't care, though. Nobody in my house needs a pair of shoes.
Oh, yeah.
You know who's got the worst shoes in the house?
You.
Me. Yeah, look. They're
buy your own
ripped up
damn
here.
shoes. You're
They're ripped
that
up in
guy.
the back. I have the worst shoes in the house. I didn't order shoes. I don't know who got a pair of shoes, but I can tell you it was somebody that doesn't need them. I hate wasting money. Jesus Christ.
Dad, we're growing.
I'm down to a quarter. You know what? So what? Your toes will bend. Your toes will bend.
Stuff some newspaper in there.
Now I'm down to a quarter. God, I hate living. Life was so much better in my 20s.
Now you're being realistic.
The only thing that sucked was Wells Fargo hunting me down every time I answered the phone. Big deal. I'm sorry.
What about your teens? Maybe you have to go down another decade.
Teens were awesome.
See?
Teens were fantastic.
For you.
If I could rank my decades, teens was number one.
You peaked in your teens.
No, I didn't peak in my teens.
Tweens? Like 9?
I didn't peak in my teens, but I had a crap ton of fun.
In some respects, though, you did.
What, peak?
Yes.
In what way?
Not peak in terms of like...
With my complexion? Where did I peak?
No, but wasn't your drug use peaking?
My heaviest drug use was in my teens, yeah.
Yeah.
And underage drinking was fun. Like I had a blast underage drinking.
So was drinking at 21.
I had much more fun doing it in a Burger King parking lot.
More exciting with a fake ID.
No, not even a fake ID, just like hanging out.
And I feel like your hanging out days
were awesome.
Peaked in your teens.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, my teens may have been it. That may have been it. There was nothing better than pills in your teens. Wow, that was solid.
Your varsity jacket just fell off your chair.
Had one of those too.
Of course you did. I did too.
It was great. Teens were awesome. Going to college parties. Yeah, hi, who's this?
Hey, Elliot.
Hey, yes, sir. Who is this?
It's Leon.
Hey, what's up, Leon?
Look, I'm 54, and I'm like restarting what I was living at 25, 30, 31.
Can I ask you this?
And
are you recently divorced?
Yes, I am. After several years of being married, but to make that different, me and my wife adopted a boy from Haiti from birth, who now is 11, and it's like a new beginning. Everything I'm very athletic. I worked at UPS for over 20 years, so I'm in perfect shape.
Right.
So,
me too.
So we do everything, and you will know who I am if you read your mail. I have, for 16 years, I have been Santa.
Wait, you just sent me an envelope. Yeah, I just opened that this morning.
Yes. Well, this is me, and for 16 years, I had cancer at an early age.
Boy. Well, no wonder your early days sucked. You had cancer.
No, but listen, the story turns around. Listen.
Yeah. But anyway, it just happened, and I've learned now to just start over. If you have ambition, do something, just do it.
Yeah, amen, dude. Amen. I'm living your life, although my teens were a blast. Teens were great.
Right.
Hey, did you say you adopted your son at birth?
Yes, I sure did.
Good for you.
7 pounds, 7 ounces, 19 1/4 long.
Good for you. Good for you. All right, dude. Hey, listen, I appreciate it. Thanks for the picture. I appreciate that.
No problem. I told you I'd get it to you.
Yeah, you're not a liar. You pointed that out. You're not a liar. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hey, Elliot.
Hey, who's this?
This is Andrea.
Hey, Andrea.
I was going to comment. The reason I think people are unhappier in their 30s are their student loan debt.
Yeah, I don't have any of that.
Yeah, exactly. The rest of us millennials over here, we're suffering from the consequences of what we did in our 20s. We didn't realize, what was going to happen.
Oh, no. I just say I didn't have student loan debt because I didn't really go. I only went to college for 6 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah. And by the way, it was free because of my academic scholarships. Thank you.
Ooh, free 6 weeks.
But I really think that's why it's changed drastically like that.
Wait, so what's your number? What's your number?
You believe me, you do not want to know.
No, not how much you owe.
Yeah, no. What's your happiness number on a scale of 1 to 3?
I would say, generally speaking, I'm a 2.5.
Okay, that's pretty good.
It is pretty good. There are days where I'm probably negative 2.5, but hey.
Yeah, there's minutes and hours where I'm very swingy. I'm very swingy. But by the way, you're better than, I want to say the average was 2.2 or something like that, which is low compared to what it's been in the past. So 2.5, I feel like you're like Diane.
Yeah.
You're kind of happy, but a lot of meh.
2.5 is more than kinda with meh in it.
Yeah, but that's how you painted yourself. That's how you painted yourself.
Yeah, we get good days and bad days.
But now, how old are you now, ma'am?
I'm 32.
Happier now than you were in your 20s? No.
No.
No, see, there you go.
Because you only remember the good.
I don't.
In the 20s.
I don't. I force myself to remember the bad so that I don't think everything was good. No, I do that all the time.
That's pretty smart.
Thank you. That's how I got that scholarship. All right, very good. I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Kaylee, what are you? Oh, you're a 3? You have no problems. You know what? Good for you. What was your number?
I'd say I'm close to a 3.
Yeah.
Because it's I've learned.
I was a 3 until I started looking at it.
What, your life?
Now I have 0.5. Wait, you've learned what?
I've learned as I've gotten a little bit older to not worry about the small stuff. Life's too short.
Yeah, I can't let the small stuff go.
Wish I could do that. Never been able to.
No, it's because the small stuff is what makes you want to do bad things.
And then people are like, "It's all small stuff." No, it's not.
Hi, Elliot. In the morning.
Hey, this is Swerve.
Hey, what's up, Swerve?
Man, I've had the worst dang morning you wouldn't ever believe.
Dude, the day's just getting going. What could be so bad?
Man, I'm standing in front of all my coworkers right now. I know my buddy Freddie, I know you're listening.
What's up, Fred?
Man, I dropped my keys walking out to my car in a puddle of water, and now I cannot get inside or out of my car.
Hold your car. Wait, are you talking about because of the key fob isn't working?
Yeah, look, you know how y'all were talking about...
Hey, listen. Yeah. But listen to me. Here's what I want you to do. Hold the key fob up under your chin, like up to like kind of your guggle, like, you know, the meaty part under your chin.
Okay.
It'll fire that bitch right up.
Even if it's wet?
Yep, it'll fire it right up.
All right, I'm going to have to try it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Mention, I was late getting up. Got a cup of coffee, burnt the tip of my damn tongue this morning. And
it's one morning. You can't. That's living too much in the moment. That's living too much in the moment. Yeah, you got to let that go. Once that car opens up, once you use my thing and that car opens up, you'll be ready to go.
I hope.
Yeah,
I hope.
You'll be ready to go. Pop you right back up to a 3. Hi, Elliot. In the morning.
Morning.
Hey, who's this?
This is Vicky.
Yes, Vicky. Real quick, what can I do for you?
I'm calling to let you know about why you can't have your coffee before your blood test.
Yes,
because it messes with your cholesterol.
Coffee doesn't hurt your cholesterol.
Yep, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It alters your levels.
So
they want a true test. Believe me, I was dying not having my coffee the morning I had to go get my blood test done.
So it is because of cholesterol reasons.
Yes. And
Interesting.
when you get older, of course, that cholesterol level is a little more important.
Yeah, well, that's what they say. Mine barely shows up. I have great cholesterol.
Yours can't get through your veins.
My cholesterol is so low, it's not even funny. That's the benefit of lupus. But yeah, well, my cholesterol is a home run. All right,
lucky you.
I appreciate. Do you have a headache, Thomas?
So, in taking away coffee for this go around, were they suggesting that I'm getting older?
Yeah, probably.
Where's my number? I need to change it.
Hey, do you have a headache from lack of caffeine?
Not yet.
Oh, you know what? Day's young.
It's not a matter of if.
It's just when.
It's when.
All right, follow-up phone calls, please. 866-2-ELLIOT, 866-235-5468. Any good stories from yesterday, last night, anything at all that you want to get into, it doesn't matter to me. 866-2-ELLIOT, 866-235-5468.
Elliot in the morning.
Rocked like the legends this
up there and talked for 2 hours straight. It was unbelievable.
And he is hysterical. I love Jim Jeffries.
Oh, yeah, he's
started the show out telling a story about how a woman in the early show had thrown a beer at him. It lasted like 5 minutes. So that was hilarious. And then he just goes, all right, let's start the show. Bill Cosby. And then talked about Cosby for 10 minutes. It was unreal, dude.
He's great. He's great. Oh, dude, I'm glad you had a good time, and thanks for the follow-up.
No problem. Thank
you got it, dude. We'll talk to you later. All right, a couple of other follow-up things. When was it? It wasn't too long ago. Remember we were talking about the rules in soccer, and I think it was Kreider that was telling us, like, his daughter, they were limiting, like, headers because of concussions and stuff. There was I guess it's USA Soccer came out. I think this was yesterday. Maybe it was from over the weekend, and I just saw it yesterday. They've now banned heading for anybody that plays under the USA Soccer umbrella.
Really?
Under the age of 11. And then they're limiting it in practice for 11 to 13. But again, it's people who play under the umbrella of USA Soccer or U.S. Soccer, I guess. So I don't know, like, what all the different youth leagues and everything. I don't know youth league soccer like I know youth league hockey. But, like, for example, I know, like, the program that my kid's in is under USA Hockey at Kettler. And so, like, that would have, if it were soccer, it would fall into that. So, like, I don't know, like, all the different youth soccer leagues around here, if they all kind of fall under that umbrella. But I feel like that's a pretty big move.
Yeah, I mean, it comes in an attempt to resolve a class action lawsuit.
Oh, does it really?
So you can question the
motive?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. And I do think that there were already some suggestions in play about where you should and should not ban heading. Of course, there's some criticism that says this will just continue to hurt the development of soccer talent in the United States.
Right.
But then again, the flip side is it'll work on your ball handling skills when it comes to your feet.
Is heading in soccer the debate that you get of when kids should be able to start checking in hockey?
Well,
because there's some people that believe it should be younger in hockey, and then there's people that believe it should be older.
It's more about the head-on-head collisions that come with balls in the air. It's not.
So it's not
checking,
so much the ball
checking
hitting
is,
the head.
Is the physical act of checking.
Right.
It has nothing to do with trying to check the puck, you know?
Right. No, but that is like, do you want them learning how to take and receive a hit when they're smaller versus when they're monsters, and then trying to figure out how to control their bodies and how to take a hit?
I think it's very different because it comes as a result of trying to head the ball, these skull-on-skull whacks.
So the real problem isn't actually hitting the ball with your head. It's just two guys going up or two girls going up and slamming heads.
Correct.
Ooh. But I saw that. I feel like that's a big deal. I didn't know it was because of the class action lawsuit. I may have to get in on that. May have to buy into that one. Also, tell me you watched the video yesterday of the guys that are out golfing and they get chased by the kangaroo.
No.
It's hysterical.
Australia?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, well, they definitely have an accent. It sounds very Australian.
I will say before someone calls in,
right,
and says that the ball hitting the head is not ideal.
Right.
The numbers say that 4.7% of boys' concussions and 8.2% of girls' concussions are due to head contact with the ball.
Right.
But 30.6% of boys' concussions and 25% of girls' concussions
head on head
occurred on headers, mostly from banging heads with another player.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. Two guys go up to get the ball, slam heads. I could totally see that being the case. By the way, wouldn't you be terrified? You watching the video?
Yes.
Would you be?
It was a header injury.
Laughing at the golfers getting chased by the kangaroo.
By the way, first of all, how terrifying is that? Like, I've never seen a kangaroo in person.
Remember all the pictures of the soul?
Is that true? They don't have those at zoos, right? They don't have those at zoos. Oh, the one that was jacked walking around the street?
Your muscular.
Love that kangaroo. That kangaroo had a sick body. Wouldn't you be terrified, though, if you had a kangaroo storming at you?
They're driving away as fast as they can in the golf cart. The thing's chasing it.
Just flying at you. And the products now have to stop with Star Wars. Like, it was fun doing the remote control refrigerator. It was fun doing the one-can Darth Vader head. Does anybody really need the R2-D2 high heels? See, I don't know what that is. The stem of the high heel. I don't know what they call that. Yeah, the heel. That's an R2-D2, and then the shoe is blue and white to kind of match the colors. Don't get me wrong; it's pretty cool looking. I'd love to see Jackie in a pair of those.
How much are they?
They're not cheap.
I was going to say
they are not cheap at all, but they are pretty cool. They're not CFMs.
What is that?
CFM pumps.
Oh,
yeah, but they are pretty cool. Wouldn't you like to see Lindsay walking around in those in like a nice dress?
I'll pass.
Those are pretty hot.
What did they say no to in terms of licensing?
They haven't gotten there yet.
Oh.
Haven't found one yet that they're willing to turn away from. Where am I going, Kaylee? Line 2? Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hey, how you doing? It's Jimmy from Woodbridge.
Jimmy from Woodbridge. What's going on, dude?
Hey, not much. I just wanted to throw something out. I'm a soccer coach for Northern Virginia right now.
Yes, sir.
Been for a couple of years, and the debate about the heading thing, I think when you're talking about hockey and checking, I think it's more teaching them how to slide tackle would be more equivalent to that.
Yeah, no, and I guess what I wasn't trying to say that they're equivalent in what they do. What I was saying is that the debate that comes up in hockey a lot is whether or not at what age kids should start learning how to check. And not because of not trying to equate checking with heading a ball, but in terms of like the debate in the youth side of the sport is at what age do you allow them to start checking? So I was asking if the equivalent is at what age in soccer do they allow them to start heading the ball?
As a coach, I've coached under 6 all the way up to U21.
Right.
And taking heading away is kind of like taking I don't know hockey too well, but like taking a certain type of shot away from them.
No, I could totally see that. Like I think of Abby, our friend Abby. I mean, she kills everybody heading a ball.
Right, and that's because, unfortunately, and another thing I was going to say is when U.S. Soccer puts something out, U.S. Soccer in the United States covers everything except for high school sports.
So, but like all youth leagues,
isn't covered by U.S. Soccer as much as it is on the outside extracurriculars.
Right.
So when they put something out, everybody has to follow it.
But like all like the youth programs, like my kids don't play soccer anymore, but when they were younger, they played for like the Annandale Youth, whatever it is. But that's all covered by U.S. Soccer, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Correct. Yeah, that's all covered. So when they put something out like that, everybody pretty much has to follow it. And for some coaches, it's not being coached correctly how to use the head and how to use that as part of the body,
right?
As part of a shot. It's different. You can take slide tackling away at an early age. That's something that needs to be taught at an older age. You don't really need to put that in at a younger age to learn the game. But taking heading away is basically like taking a certain amount of football plays away.
See, but now I'm a little bit confused. Are you saying that it's a good move that they're holding off or a bad move that they're holding off?
I think it's a bad move.
Bad move.
I think it's a bad move. I think heading needs to be coached properly. It needs to be taught how to be. I think the coaches need to be more prepared about how to coach heading as a shot, and how to use that as part of the game, and instead of taking that away, it's like, to me, it's equivalent to taking kicking away.
Yeah, no,
football.
I definitely understand what you're saying. Here's my only question, though, is that like you talk about like how it needs to be coached better, and listen, I think everybody would agree with that, but not everybody. I mean, listen, and I give the guys credit all the time. You get volunteer dads that are out there and moms who are coaching teams and wanting to be a part of it. So they're out there, they're not getting paid to do it. It's not their job. And they're doing the best that they can. And in some cases, there's training and stuff that goes into it. But they're not professional soccer coaches. They're volunteers who are giving up their time to try to help their kids and their kids' friends.
Right. And also, if you look into the volunteer program a little bit more, when I first started out, I was a volunteer. And I got licensed as a coach as a volunteer because the club that I volunteered for offered those courses for free.
Right. Well, that's the other thing I was going to ask.
And we're talking a 6-hour course to begin your first, licensing. It's not a huge thing, and most clubs will pay for that for you. And that's just a little bit of extra that, evolved. But you're right. I mean, there's a lot of coaches that are just trying to help out and fill spaces because we don't have enough coaches.
Right, so kids
There's
can play.
Not enough people
but you know
that are
what?
involved in that.
I am happy to hear that, and then I'm going to jump, but I am happy to hear that, because I know like USA Hockey has clinics and seminars and stuff that they'll ask, parents who are, kind of committed to helping out to go take the classes and get certified. So I'm happy to hear that soccer does the same thing. That's awesome. That's great.
Yes, it does. It like I said, it more needs to be coached better than to be taken away completely.
I hear you. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Elliot.
Are you going to coach your kid's soccer team one day?
No. I was asked to participate Saturday morning in practice.
Oh.
But so was every parent.
Oh.
But no, I have no... the coaching bug will never bite me. I'm just a spectator who sits back and...
screams at the ref.
Please.
You blew that, you son of a bitch.
And makes fun of the parents that care a little too much.
Where am I going? Line 5? Hi, Elliot, in the morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
Good. Who's this?
This is Christina.
Ask Christina.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
I actually had a comment for Diane. Something that Diane mentioned on the news yesterday was those green lasers that were seen in the sky that were reported to be like military. Well, did you hear today it happened again to
Same
another
thing.
United Airlines flight?
I thought you were talking about yesterday. We had kind of mentioned that there were the naval tests that had gone off, and people were seeing those bright lights in the sky out in California, and they did do it again. So, but you're telling me it's like those green lasers from the ground where they're shining them into people's cockpits?
Could be. I don't know. All I'm saying that it sounds kind of fishy. It could be aliens.
No, okay, it's not aliens.
It was out in San Diego again.
Oh, that's another naval test. Yeah. It's another naval test. I was reading about that this morning. It's another naval test that took place. By the way, this is going to be a bad transition because I don't mean it to be. Can anybody identify what this thing is? That a woman, where is she? Hold on. California woman, does it say where in California? Doesn't say. Who found this thing in her backyard?
I saw the picture.
What is that?
Oh.
What is that?
Hold
found
on.
that.
Do you know what it is?
No, they don't know what it is.
All right.
I can tell you what one guess is. I can tell you what two guesses are.
It looks like a turkey that's spatchcocked.
I
just learned what that was during the break.
What is that?
That's well, as my daughter, who's, oh my God.
I'll take that.
Coffee or something. My daughter thinks that.
You showed her this picture?
No, but she would think that's the belly button.
Oh.
Because she points to my dog's butt.
Oh.
And says belly button. That's what it looks like, doesn't it?
I was going to go Kujini, but that's okay. I'll give you that.
Okay. You went medical. I didn't.
Two things. There are two guesses as to what this is. Number one, alien. Number two, deer fetus.
Oh.
I don't see deer fetus, though. I don't see anything that looks like a deer.
Well, I know someone we can ask.
He would know, wouldn't he?
The same person who snapped me a cup of coffee picture and then a picture of a Mexican pizza from Taco Bell.
What is that? Could you imagine finding that in your yard? That's big,
pretty
too.
Freaked out, yeah.
That's big.
I'll go deer fetus.
I'm going alien. There's no face on it, though. That's the problem. And what is that? What's coming out here?
It's got a face.
What's coming out here? That's the Google. That's the Google right there. Dude, that is nasty. That's it. You find that in your yard? Big shovel, right over to the neighbor's yard.
No.
I'm not leaving it in my yard. Can you imagine the flies and the stench that are on that?
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, you call
toss it in the dumpster.
Neighbor.
Call animal control.
Go right to the neighbor. Anytime there's a dead bird, shovel, neighbor.
Did you specify that they believe it's half of a deer fetus, not a full deer fetus?
Where's the other half?
Probably in some
Diane,
animal's belly.
Diane. Oh, it was eaten. Yeah. I thought you meant like still in the deer. I was like, I don't think that's how it works at all. And then the other thing, Kaylee, I owe you an apology. I should have put together a trip specifically for you to New Orleans. But the Clown Bar production closed this past weekend. What do you mean, no? It was they asked everybody this weekend to come dressed as clowns. So you had the whole audience in clown gear. And everybody up on stage. Did you see any of the pictures? Oh, you got to look it up. Clown Bar. Apparently, it was a huge production. Clown Bar, the immersive comedic play by Adam Simkowitz, Jewish, had its final show at the Little Gem Saloon on Sunday. The audience was encouraged to come dressed as clowns and were given red noses to wear during the show. How awesome would that have been? That would have been great. You wouldn't have had fun with that? If that has a, what do they call it when a play or a show comes back?
Return engagement.
What did you go with? Revival. Or if it has a revival,
yes, this is going to be up for best revival.
It could. Happy Mahoney is the head clown. If this thing has a revival, we're totally going. You have to go see that. Or maybe it'll tour like Book of Mormon. But if it goes, you have to go, Kaylee. That is right up your alley. That would be perfect for you. All right, where am I going here? Line 7. Hi, Elliot, in the morning.
It's me?
Yeah, hi, who's this?
Hey, this is Brandon.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, I was just going to tell you were talking about kangaroos earlier and that big, massive one. So in Australia, they have pseudo-zoos, whatever you want to call them. They're kind of like petting zoos.
Right.
And you can actually walk in the enclosure feet away as far as you want to get from kangaroos, like the big ones. And they're usually sitting there on a little patch, 3 or 4 of them together, sitting in the rows from the Titanic, paint me like one of your French girl poses.
I couldn't. I would be terrified to be around a live kangaroo.
I got maybe like 10 feet behind one of them and had my wife take a picture, but that was it. I wasn't going to get any closer.
I would be terrified because they get up on those tails.
I know.
And they start kicking their feet at you,
punching.
There's no way you're beating a kangaroo up. I would be terrified to have that thing coming at me. And then last thing I need to know, do I get a live webcam of the gum wall cleaning today?
Oh, that's right.
Because I do have a bit of a fascination. I want them to kind of melt it off. Like I want a big glob of gum when it's all said and done. So I don't know if they're going to freeze and blast. I don't know if they're just going to chisel. Or if they're going to like almost flamethrow the thing.
Stuck with that job.
But man, do I want to see that today. I'm dying to see that. And they have to show me a big ball of the gum when everything is said and done. So that comes down today. So I'll keep an eye on that. Anyway, listen, let me do this. Let me take a break. When we come back, Diane will do some news. After that, $500 with Elliot in the Morning's November Wham. $500 every day between now and Thanksgiving. And then our buddy Stephen Kellogg will join us after that.
Elliot in the Morning. iHeartRadio puts the spotlight on 3 Days Grace. The band formed in 19...
Let's get into some news, please.
Speaking of the Republican debate that's going to be happening tonight, you can look at the numbers and see that according to this Marist poll, Ben Carson still leading Trump by 1 percentage point, 24 to 23%. Marco Rubio with 12%, Ted Cruz at 8%. Same thing for Jeb Bush going into tonight's debate. They said they are going to be keeping track of speaking time, so you won't have somebody like...
Yeah, but they're not going to cut anybody off. They never do.
I know. But
sir, okay, go ahead and finish.
Just telling you what Fox Business
That's why
is
somebody
saying.
they just need to, you know what they need to do? They need to have a button that just...
kills their mic. Yeah.
They're done, then they turn it back on.
Neil Cavuto and Maria Bartiromo, the Money Honey,
right,
will be moderating tonight.
Right, with Kennedy from the Fox Business Channel.
And if you, for whatever reason, don't get that on your basic cable, I thought you would.
Right.
But you can always go online and stream it through their website. Also, the next Republican debate, not scheduled until December 15th.
Yeah, this is the last one you get for a while. So you've had two kind of quick back-to-back, but this will be it for a while. And they're saying this one could be, I was watching some pundits yesterday, and they were saying this one is very important for them to kind of not only get their own crap out there, but kind of stomp on those that they don't want. Because you got a large gap in between this one and the next one, which isn't until the middle of December. And this is where you could see if people don't, Jeb Bush specifically, Rand Paul, if you don't see them make a good impression tonight, money's going to dwindle up by the time the next one rolls around in terms of being able to get out and fundraise. Trump's not in any problem. Carson is not in any problem. Now, granted, they could stick their foot in their mouth at any time and it could all end. Ask Howard Dean. But between now and December, that's a long ride without being able to get on TV and get your stuff going. So they're saying tonight is same thing with Carly Fiorina. Same thing. Got to get going tonight. So you could see some good attacking tonight.
So the one December 15th will be in Vegas.
Right.
Wolf Blitzer will moderate that one because it's CNN. And then your next Democratic debate will be in Iowa on Saturday, November 14th. Saturday?
No, that's perfect. It's a good lead-in to SNL.
Exactly. By the way, Donald Trump keeping on the bandwagon about wanting to boycott Starbucks because of the cup controversy. Also, there is news where, in relation to that story, he said if he becomes president, we are all going to be saying Merry Christmas again. That I can tell you.
Absolutely. But no, he wants the boycott of Starbucks, although he's never had a cup of coffee in his life.
I saw that. So he's never
had a drug, never had a glass of alcohol, never had a cigarette, never had a cup of coffee. So he says.
Do you believe that?
And good morning.
He's Gene. He's Gene Simmons. Same hair. Same hair. Helmet. I believe it.
Really?
It's too easy. If he hasn't learned anything from Carson, it's too easy for somebody to come out and go, here's a picture of me having a cigarette with Donald Trump. Here's a picture of me having a glass of champagne with Donald Trump. Here's a picture of me. It'd be too easy for a picture to come up.
But has he always talked about that in the past? That's not something new that's come up about
I have no idea. No, it's nothing new. I know he has said it in the past.
Safe landing for a plane that apparently had some sort of mechanical failure, maintenance issue causing a plane that was carrying nearly 100 passengers to make an emergency landing at Charlotte Douglas Airport this morning. No injuries reported. The plane made it down okay. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says for the first time all school buses need to have seatbelts in order to protect kids.
That's always been a huge debate.
School buses, they had said up until now, safe without seatbelts, saying it was too expensive to retrofit them to add the belts. But now they're saying they believe they should be leaving it up to the cities and states to decide if school buses need to have seatbelts. Currently, 6 states require their buses to have belts. A couple of women, you may have seen a video going around twerking and groping a man at a convenience store in Northeast D.C. a couple of weeks ago. Now police would like
By
to
the way, that story is everywhere.
Yes.
That whole thing, that went international.
Mm-hmm. You can see the surveillance video, which goes back to October 7th at this convenience store on New York Avenue. Middle of the afternoon, one of the women began to twerk against the man, and the other one repeatedly fondling him as he was trying to push her away.
The twerk woman's pretty quick. The woman who won't leave him in the orange dress, she won't leave the guy alone. Like, sister, take the hint.
Police are looking at this as a possible third-degree sexual abuse.
You know, those women
incident.
face 10 years in prison.
I know.
10 years in prison.
World Anti-Doping Agency recommending that Russia be banned from athletic competitions after accusations of cover-ups and doping and extortion in their athletic programs. They want 5 coaches and athletes to receive lifetime bans. They also said the 2012 London Olympics were sabotaged and would also prevent them from performing in Rio.
Did you see how bad it was, though, with people getting paid off, people having fake identities in order to be able to pass through the drug tests and not get caught for doping? Can I tell you what I was thrilled to see?
What?
No hockey.
Oh.
I was thrilled to see that. But it makes sense. Track and field, by the way, I don't know that they fielded a person who wasn't doping.
That's the
track and field's ridiculous.
Worst offenders.
Yeah. Track and field, I think weightlifting, there were a couple of other ones. I feel like most of them, wrestling was another big one. I feel like most of them were summer games, but there was definitely winter games involved. But then I thought, well, maybe, hopefully, none of the hockey guys got it, just because they get drug tested throughout the year in the NHL. So hopefully that was the reason. But I didn't look like there was any NHL issues in terms of the Russian hockey players. But every one of their, and it's bad. It is so bad. You think they get banned? No, the IOC is so dirty anyway.
Yeah, that's what worries me, because it is really bad when you read the details.
Oh, it's horrible. It really is horrible. Of all the stuff that they went through and the labs and essentially it's all fake piss anyway at this point. Just how everything was manufactured. And like I said, creating just these fake identifications for people in order to get it done. And the number of people that were getting paid off, and everybody knew about it. Everybody knew about it. But isn't the IOC, I mean, it's essentially FIFA. Isn't the IOC so dirty that nothing's going to happen?
It's not the cleanest of organizations.
So they can't go in and start stripping, can they? I mean, I guess they could.
Well, that's obviously the recommendation and what's being called for from many corners, but who knows?
So you ban a couple of coaches? Okay. They're not going to ban all of Russia from participating in the Olympics.
Yeah, but they could.
Although that's on the table.
They could take away some
medals. Yeah, I guess so.
From London. Apple's iPad Pro available to order online starting tomorrow. Ain't cheap. Pro prices start at $800 for a 32 gig Wi-Fi model and more than $1,000 for an LTE capable version with 128 gigs of storage space. There's a guy in Oklahoma who got drunk and apparently stumbled into a Civil War reenactment.
Oh boy!
Opening fire on the actors. One guy got hurt. One guy got hit in the arm, but he's okay. The man was arrested. Your gum wall update.
Oh yes, please.
It will be cleaned with a steaming method, and
it's going to melt it.
Crews plan to collect and weigh all the gum before they dispose of it.
Nasty. They're just going to throw it in the water.
Right there.
Just take it right over to the sound, throw it right in the water.
Bears beating the Chargers 22-19 for Monday Night Football last night after the Cowboys' loss. Sunday night, Greg Hardy not available to the press or to answer questions about the Deadspin report and the pictures that came up over the weekend. Now Deadspin is saying how he was able to avoid.
Did you read that about how he got away?
Yeah. So
the locker room's obviously closed to the media immediately after the game. While that's going on and he's getting talked to by the coaches, somebody pulls his Ferrari up to the player entrance door. And as they're opening the door to the media, Hardy's walking out and getting in the passenger seat and just hauling ass out of there.
Yep.
So now it would be interesting to see. Deadspin pointed out that you get fined if you don't talk to the media or make yourself available to the media, unless you're like obviously getting treated for injury, in a medical room. So since he didn't do that, and there's pictures of him leaving in his Ferrari, beautiful car. By the way, did anybody see the convertible Range Rover pictures that came out yesterday?
No.
Ugliest car ever made. You saw that? You like that? Oh, it's disgusting. Range Rover just killed themselves. It is yes, they did. That is the ugliest car ever. There's like a 2017 convertible SUV.
Here it is.
It's disgusting. And it doesn't help that the pictures they put out have it in orange.
Yeah.
But it is the ugliest car that's ever been made. The ugliest car ever. Anyway.
Not bad.
Oh, it's Diane. Diane, you wouldn't drive that. I wouldn't drive that. I'd be embarrassed. That is an ugly car.
Wouldn't drive it at orange.
Anyway, the Hardy's Ferrari is beautiful. But like Deadspin was pointing out, they can't say like, oh, he was getting treatment, he was getting something looked at. They show him getting into the car and hauling ass out of there. And now the team also faces trouble because it's not just like the player bolted, but you've got help pulling his car up to the door so he can get the hell out of there. God, what a mess. Love it. Love it.
Patriots will be without their running back Deion Lewis for the rest of the season, as it was confirmed that he has a torn ACL. Caps in Detroit tonight to play the Red Wings, and people will be keeping a close eye on Alex Ovechkin with a new goal, would set a new record for the most goals scored by a Russian-born player in the NHL. Sergei Fedorov is also going to be in attendance to watch it.
That's awesome.
Should he break that record. Also moving on to the NBA, Wizards taking on the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at Verizon Center. Bradley Beal listed as questionable. 76ers still haven't won a game. They fell to the Bulls 111-88 last night. Pelicans hoping for their first win tonight when they play the Mavericks. Also, Steph Curry, 22 points last night. Golden State beating the Pistons, so they are 8-0 on the year now. That's a look at news and sports.
Hi, Callie from Frederick. How are you doing?
I'm amazing.
I have good news for you. I am going to give you $500.
That is amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, just a little walking around money. That's not bad. It's a little November wham. So listen, you hold tight 1 second for me. You know we're doing it every day through Thanksgiving, right? You know that.
Yes.
All right, very good. So listen, you hold tight 1 second. Kaylee just needs to get some info from you. But, hey, congratulations. You got yourself $500, all right?
Thank you. Love you guys.
I love you too. New record is done and on the way. Please welcome our friend, Mr. Stephen Kellogg.
Hey-o.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
Good. You look good. You look very rock and rolly today.
Hey, well, I love getting up this early.
I bet you do.
Yeah, it feels good.
Lay out all your harmonicas nicely. Everything's good. Look at you. I like your new record.
Thank you.
I like it a lot. Although that's a lot of music to put out all at once.
I know, but it's I just did what I had to do.
What do you mean you did what you had to do?
Well, I mean, I've been on a label in 10 years, and I've finally had a moment to just do something that you don't do, and that was cool.
I'm not following. What do you mean you had a moment to do what you don't do?
Well, I mean, you don't. In this, it's generally speaking, right now, it's a lot of people would say it's a singles market.
Sure.
Put out
a
way
song.
less music.
Exactly.
Right? I'm a bit, and this is, to me right now. I had a lot of songs, and I wanted to really explore some different genres and just do it, and so I did.
So you went and recorded it all. The name of the record is Southwest Northeast. So you went and recorded it all over the country.
Yeah, I did. Well, I did one section in South. In the South, in Nashville, with one group of musicians and one producer. Then one section, the West, I did in Boulder, Colorado.
Right.
Different producer, different musicians. North in Woodstock, New York. And then East, I did here in D.C.
Yeah, because I remember you didn't call. Wait, so how long?
I don't think I have your number.
How long? Okay, please, you can find us.
Yeah.
How long were you here recording in D.C.?
I was here about 10 days, probably. I was here for a week, and then I came back for a few more days and stuff. I mean, we do this stuff kind of quick and dirty, so.
But 10 days, you couldn't have found time to just say, hey, by the way, I'm in town.
I'm sorry.
I'm working on a record.
You go to bed early. I didn't want to wake you up.
Whatever. Hey, let me ask you this, though. Like, can you tell, I went through and I listed my favorite songs off the record, and I'll get to that, based on, what, not just to see, do I like this quadrant more than that quadrant or whatever. Do you have one that you feel that you like more?
I do, yeah.
Which one?
Well, I feel bad. I mean, I feel bad. I feel guilty.
For the other 15 songs that are going to hear you say it?
No, well, it's just, I think part of it for me, Elliot, over the years I've been kind of a chameleon, sometimes I want to be Southern rock guy, and sometimes I want to be folk guy, and sometimes I want to be pop guy. And so each of these sections kind of has a genre. And when I finished it, I kind of knew what I wanted to do moving forward. And it's a little more the West stuff and the North stuff, that's just the stuff that at the end of the day spoke to my heart the most,
Wait, what did you say? North and West was more you?
Yeah.
North, South, North, South, North. I'm more North and South.
Okay.
And
That's
a little
cool.
bit West.
Yeah. You can be anything you want to be, that's the beauty of this world, buddy.
Now, let me ask you this. Where did you didn't write them you just went and recorded there, but you didn't do all the writing when you were in those places?
No.
And then what was I reading? I was reading something where you were talking about, when you would go into these different, whether it was in Boulder or Woodstock or here or Nashville. And I don't know where it was, but I was reading where, you were sitting with all the people that you were recording with at the time, or the producers, whatever it was. And you were talking about why you even got into this business in the first place.
Yeah.
Why was that?
Because I wanted to get to have a point of view, to get to say, here's what I think, I mean, that's I love that part of this job, we just, to get to, and to have camaraderie with other people and say, oh, that's what you think, this is what I think, just to sit around and exchange ideas.
And so was the only way that you were ever going to be able to do that was through music?
I don't know. So far it has been the platform for that, but I think that maybe there's, I'm not young, but I'm relatively young. So I think, there may be other platforms for that, but that is a lot of what I get off on. Yeah.
But have you ever done anything but?
Not in a long while. And, I mean, I had a job out of college for a little while.
Not a real job.
No, it really wasn't.
What was it?
I used to sell, I sold tickets in a kiosk.
Oh, did you really? For concerts?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
Is it?
Well, I mean, for a moment.
Yeah, it was good. It helped get me motivated, man. It was there's got to be an alternative to this existence. Yeah, definitely.
But then I was watching I was watching the kind of the movie that you did as well. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Okay.
And you flash back to you in high school. Was the name of your high school band Silent Treatment?
It was.
That's awesome. awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's great.
What was that band though?
Well, that band we were metal. That was what we did. Eventually we had a conflict because those guys wanted to do Rush and Maiden and stuff like that, which I was open to in the beginning, but then I started getting more into Tesla and wanted to, and I started to get into the Allman Brothers. I just kind of wanted to do I wanted to jam on metal tunes, which wasn't, so we eventually had to lay it down. But my buddy who I was in that band with actually recorded the song you just played, Last Man Standing. He recorded that with me. That's the two of us did that track.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say, other than him, is anybody else from Silent Treatment doing well?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I can't. I don't know. Maybe they are, but I don't. The drummer punched me in the mouth. That was my last time I saw him.
Was that the last fight you were in?
No.
When was the last fight you were in?
Shortly after that, I was in another fight. I probably, high school, it was tough.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was. When I met my wife, which was in high school, but when I met her, I had a black eye.
Did you really?
I did. Yeah.
How often were you fighting in high school?
Well, I was never fighting. I was just getting beat up. It wasn't a two-way situation.
No, because I was going to say, I don't look at you and go you were the dude in high school that was in fights all the time.
But my heroes I was into Chris Robinson from the Black Crowes and Eddie Vedder, and I like these guys that would say what they thought, and buck authority,
Right.
So I'd be on stage and it would be time for the local beach pavilion to shut down, and the guy would be like, "We're cutting you off," and I'd be like, "Don't shut us down," and then there'd be guys. I mean,
so the fights you were getting in high school were with the guys who were running concert halls.
Well, sometimes, yeah,
Dude, I love
and again,
that
they
about
weren't
you.
fights; they were one. Yeah, I mean, sometimes I deserved what came to me. Sometimes I really didn't, but it blurred together in a slew of being hunted throughout high school.
Did you win any of them?
No. Certainly not. Certainly not.
All right, so when you're going around and recording all these things, like in Boulder, what was that set up like?
That was unbelievable. There's a songwriter named Gregory Alan Isaacoff who I did that with. Really cool guy I toured Europe with. He's got a barn out in Boulder, and it's just, there's no internet. There's no mirrors. It's just, you're just in it. And the sheep, it's literally a barn. One wall, the sheep is, on the other side, then the studio's on one side. So I'd go to bed at night on this cot in the studio and you'd hear the farm animals. And so it's vibey. I mean, it's really.
But what do you mean there's no internet?
I guess there's internet on your phone, but if you were like, what's the Wi-Fi?
There's none of that.
None.
And how miserable is that?
Well, it would be for me, I'm so I like to have the internet and stuff, but for when you're working on something, it puts you in a different headspace, and it's pretty great, You're just like, wow, we're in it, And
then there's sheep running around while you're outside?
Yeah, I thought that was so cool. I felt like,
like you're roughing it.
Yeah. And he lives this way. This is how he lives, so you can hear it in his music. But for me, I was just a visitor passing through, and I was like, wow, I can't wait to tell my friends how cool it was.
So how do you even set that up? Obviously, this dude.
Yeah. Well, he said, you should come out to the barn and record. And so then I just said, okay, how do we do that?
Right.
What has to happen to make that happen? And, and then you got to remind everybody that you got to eat sometimes and stuff like that. I was like, so are we going to eat anything today or what? But, it was incredible. It was really cool.
Where was the stop where I was reading that you cooked most of the meals for everybody?
I cooked on East. I did East with Kit and Chip, who've been in here many times. And we, of the three of us, I think it's safe to say that I'm the cook, but that's
not saying anything.
Not much.
So where were you set when you were here in DC? Where were you set up?
Chip has a studio, Alpine Red,
right,
in Gainesville.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
And where were you in Woodstock? Woodstock's awesome.
Woodstock's incredible. Yeah, there was an ice storm. Boots was with me. There was the three of us, and we were.
I refuse to talk to Boots today. I'm very upset with it. No, I really am. I can't. I don't even know that. I don't know, Boots, that you and I can be friends any longer.
Oh boy.
Yeah, no, I'll get into it with you, but no, I'm very bothered by you. Let me just say, I saw some pictures of you last night that I don't know that there will be a repair between the two of us.
Do we have the right boots here?
I believe we do.
Okay.
I believe we do. So I will just, you know what? I'll cover this eye. I don't even see the man right now.
Oh, no. Well, then never mind.
Don't even see him. No, but anyway, so there was an ice storm there.
There's an ice storm, and that was, we were in basically in a small kind of cabin environment, and that music to me sounds that way too. It was frozen. It was absolute. We had to delay the recording just to get in there.
Yeah,
because it couldn't get up the hill.
It was that bad.
It really was. Yeah, there was a dog. The engineer, great guy, he loves his dog Trotsky, and this dog would like stand outside the bedroom I was sleeping in, just barking at me, like pretty serious dog,
right?
With a pretty serious bark. And I on at least one occasion I called up. I'm like, hey guys, I think Trotsky's. Can somebody call Trotsky? I want to come out now, But it was guy stuff.
And then I would imagine that Nashville was just awesome.
And that was its own thing too. The South stuff was just, that was kind of stressful to me because we cut 5 songs in one day. But
is that a lot? I mean, I've never recorded a record.
To me, it's a lot. It's a tremendous amount of investment and risk to just say we're going for this in one day. But then as they said, they're like, "Welcome to Nashville, man. That's how we do it here."
Right. So you just go in, you do 5 songs, and you got. So you did Nashville in one day.
In one, we did it in 2 days because the second day we did some overdubs and stuff. But we did the basic meat of what was there. We did in one day. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was incredible. I mean, it's incredible to be around musicianship that can kind of nail it that quickly, and and I was worried that they wouldn't be soulful, but these people had a lot of soul.
Did you like doing the record this way?
I mean, I'm not going to do it again. I would never do it again. It's a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of hard decisions. It's a lot of material, But I had to do it right now because I'm at a point where I was just trying to figure out what's next. What's the next part of my life? Like a lot of people my age.
Right. But so like what would be normal? Like if you would never do it this way again, is normal you just go to one studio and you're done and that's it?
Yeah, I think I'd like to just the next record would be really refreshing to just go in, focus on one thing with one group of people and make the music, But I would never take this back either. It's the cool. I learned more making this record than any record I've ever made, and I'm proud of what we did. I mean, they're not all perfect songs, but there's some good stuff on there.
I don't want to hear you say that.
What?
Well, which ones don't you like?
Oh man, you always fish it out of me, Elliot. No, there's nothing I don't like. I'm not saying that. It's just like it's like going up to bat many times,
right.
and making all those decisions in one short time. And not everybody likes every decision you make, and you don't like every decision you make. But you're trying to. That's not what it's about. It's about a moment in time and trying to That's what I was going for, an experience here.
But will you go back and listen to a record like the way like just a normal person will listen to it?
Yeah.
And so I'll go through and I'll listen to it and I'll go like, oh, I really like that song, that song, that song, that song, and that song.
Yeah.
And then you listen to it again and you go, oh, you know what? This one sounds better the second time than it did the first time. Or you hear a lyric the second time and you're like, oh, you know what? That's pretty badass.
Yeah, it's great when something sometimes hits you later, and that's what's great about great records. Is they do grow with you, and your relationship to them moves around and changes a little bit. So yeah, I have some songs that I love putting on now, and some that I hope to grow with. But I mean, I like it. It's
but good. Why am I waiting till February for the whole thing to come out?
Well, we did a pledge campaign,
right?
So we involved a lot of people in this, and we wanted to honor that and share the music.
Right,
but
so they get it early. Obviously.
They have it.
They already got it.
They have it, and we have it at shows. So if you're really into this music and what's going on, you'll get it. But the reason, honestly, is like you said, it's a lot of music, and we thought we're going to give it to the people that are invested. And then for the rest of the world, we're going to put one part out per month and do it a little more slowly because it's a lot. Even 20. If my favorite artist, if Tom Petty said, "Here's 20 new songs," I'm not
That's
sure
a
I
lot
would
of
get
songs.
through it all, you know?
Right.
But if he said, I'm putting out 5 songs every month for the next 4 months, I'd probably stay with that.
Right.
And that's our thinking. I mean, you know, look, I'm the CEO of the record label, so you're looking at him right here. We're winging it. I'm not saying we're getting it right. We're just trying, you know?
So when you try to figure out what's next for you, CEO of a major record label is not you.
Well, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy making music and writing songs more than you know. We actually, me and my kids shipped all the packages for Pledge, and I just posted. I said, if your T-shirts show up wrinkled, like it's because I have a 4-year-old shoving them in envelopes, and just, you know, be kind. And if it's broken, we'll send you a new one. But, you know, cut us some slack.
How do they feel playing live?
The songs?
Yeah,
incredible. It feels great. I mean, the people that are sitting with me are fine musicians.
Right. Well,
yeah.
Some of them,
except this weird
Although
rift with you and Boots.
I can't knock Boots' musicianship. I can knock his taste in certain things, but I can't.
What was going on last night? What, were you posting pictures?
No, I saw the pictures last night. No, they've been up for a while. They've been up for a while.
Is this concerning a sports team?
Oh, go to hell, New York Mets. Go to hell. What is with you?
What?
First of all, how have I known you all these years and not known that you're a Mets fan?
Oh, I've been a lifelong Mets fan.
Yeah, no, and you've suffered, and I'm glad that you're suffering still.
Yeah.
But, I saw those pictures like, God damn it, Boots, what the hell is wrong with you?
I don't know. I had a great playoff experience, and
did you have a great playoff experience?
Up until the very end.
Because I feel like it ended very prematurely.
Yeah, it was a rough.
Oh, I couldn't have been happier.
I
hate that goddamn team.
What are you a fan of? Which team?
The Yankees.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, you've had your time in the sun. Can't you just let us have a little bit of success?
No, not at all. Not at all.
No?
And then there's a little personal history, but I'll explain that to you off the air. That'll make more sense. But I saw those pictures. It broke my heart. And there you are, like all happy at the NLCS. Oh,
Yeah.
look, here we are.
I know. A week later, I'm crying on the hotel room floor. Game 5. Oh, boy.
I love that you went, though. I mean, I will give you that.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, to see that place rocking. I mean, we've had, since 2009, not one winning season at Citi Field. So, I mean, it was very cool.
Oh, and I just love watching Murphy come back to earth. Oh, it's so good. It is so good to see him crater again.
Yeah. Well,
this is actually, I'm amazed that Boots is like smiling and taking this well, because usually this is pretty serious territory. It's kind of like.
Well, what can he do? He's used to it.
Yeah, it's a part of my DNA to just cry at the end of every baseball season. And yeah, this season I was same thing.
All right, let me do this. Let me take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll play a little bit. I want to get into the movie. The movie I thought was awesome. So I want to get into that. We'll get into some more music. Give me one quick break. More with Stephen Kellogg next.
Elliot in the morning.
In the morning, our buddy Stephen Kellogg is with us. He will be at the Hamilton tonight here in D.C. The new record, Southwest, North, and East. Real quick, and then we'll get into some music. I meant to ask you, when you were doing, I think it was, I was just reading some of the notes from recording the record. I think it was, you said that with the part that you did in the East here.
Yeah.
It finished in total madness. What happened?
Well, I went out and did these shows to, I decided to go out and play a bunch of cities and just play stuff off the new record that no one had ever heard. And one thing I realized from doing that was we were one song short, if you can believe it. We had 19, and I was like, man, we need something hopeful.
Right.
And I felt it, and we were nearing a mastering deadline. We'd booked the touring and everything. So it's the night before 4th of July. I'm driving home from a session, having just tried to write the song and recorded another song that I thought was going to be it, and it wasn't, and I was bummed. And I pulled over at this truck stop, and I wrote "Last Man Standing." So I'm frantically calling around trying to find anybody that will record with me. And I ended up picking up a 12-pack and going to my friend Ian's house, who said yes, and we didn't come out of there for we slept for about 7 hours, but that we had the mastering had to be in and files had to be in on Monday. This started at Friday night,
right?
And the song didn't even exist, and then we recorded the whole thing. So it just ended, and he has a very modest studio, and it was July, so it was about 100 degrees. I mean, we were just soaked with sweat in there, the two of us. He's not really an engineer. I'm even less of an engineer, and we're just in there with this mic trying to make this song happen, and that's the madness I was talking about. I mean, it was just crazy, but I was like, this has to make the record. It has to be
So you
there.
wrote that song at a truck stop?
I did. It was one of those ones that you just pulled over and it's like bang.
Like,
boom.
does that, I mean, I'm assuming that you don't do most of your writing when you just pull over at a truck stop, but is that like one where it's just like, it just hit me?
Yeah.
And you just have to pull off and write?
Totally. Sometimes that happens.
In a goddamn truck stop.
Yeah.
And the song's awesome.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I was like, and that's why I was like, we have to get this on the record. And even my manager was like, look, can this be the next record? I'm like, it's got to be this one.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a great story.
Yeah, and when I called my buddy too, he said, look, man, I don't know, look, this is going to be lo-fi. And I'm like, it doesn't even matter. I'm like, we could almost do it on an iPhone. Stop. Let's just do it,
That's awesome. And then the other note that I had to ask you about, when you were out west in Boulder, the picture next to your bed of Richie Sambora, was that there or did you bring that with you?
No, Gregory put it there because my UK label had given when he and I were touring in Europe. They said to me, Gregory's quite cool. So if you could not mention Bon Jovi at any point, because I would like sometimes talk about how I wanted to be Bon Jovi when I was a kid. And I'm like, well, look, I don't think the audience is going to not like me because I say that, and they're giving me a hard time. So as a joke, Gregory put this picture of Richie. But then then that like manifested something because this past September I did Living on a Prayer with Richie Sambora at Red Rocks in Denver.
How awesome was that?
I mean, unbelievable. It was just like my heart was coming out of my chest. It was unbelievable.
How'd that all come together?
Well, I wrote a couple songs with my friends in OAR.
Right, sure.
So they were nice enough to say, hey, we got this big show in Denver. Would you come out and do those songs with us? So I said, absolutely. So I flew out, and Mark goes, the lead singer, Mark says, can you learn Living on a Prayer as well?
Can I learn it? How about I know it?
Exactly. I'm like, that's not a problem. But he didn't mention that Richie would be there to do it too. So Encore comes up, 10,000 people, and you hear whomp whomp, and it's the real deal. It's Richie doing it, and I'm like,
wait, did you not see him backstage at all? Nothing.
No, I saw him. I knew it was happening, but we don't sound check. I mean, Richie's he's a real man. He's got bullets on his guitar strap and leather pants, and it's just like, it's great, man. It was, my musical contribution, full disclosure, was nominal to Living on a Prayer, but I was there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was.
That's
cool.
awesome. All right, what are we playing?
We're gonna play Wallpaper Angel here for you. Wallpaper Angel, Wallpaper Angel, Wallpaper Angel, I never will forget your smile. She was fading from view when I met her, and in just a few months she was gone. I lost my perspective like I often do. I was moving towards something that was moving on. And sometimes she still catches me off guard when the sky's like a silver screen. A girl with the fiddle and a broken string. When the night calls, you could still hear her sing. Wallpaper Angel, Wallpaper Angel, Wallpaper Angel, I never will forget your smile. So the kids ask me if we are safe, and it's all I can do to look them in the face. Said maybe we are, maybe we aren't. We've been dealt a good hand, we've been lucky so far, but what else can I truthfully say? Wallpaper Angel, angel. I never will forget your smile. Fact is this, angel got her wings early, and that still brings a tear to these eyes. It still kills me every time. Wallpaper angel, wallpaper angel, wallpaper angel. I never will forget your smile. Wallpaper angel, wallpaper angel, wallpaper angel. I never will forget your smile. I never will forget your smile. I never will forget your smile.
Our buddy Stephen Kellogg is with us tonight. He will be at the Hamilton. Then a couple of other dates. You'll come back through Ashland, Virginia, playing the Ashland Coffee and Tea, December 26th. And then Ram's Head on stage in Annapolis on the 27th. That's a noon show. That's like a little matinee thing.
It's a matinee, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm all right. Hey, I'm
well,
good with
maybe.
that. That's an early bed. That's an early bed night. Really rock and roll.
And then the other one, Daryl's House on December 28th. That's kind of badass.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I haven't been there.
I feel like I see it on TV all the time.
Yeah.
No, that's pretty cool. And then also, did I catch this right? You guys leave like in the middle of the whole tour to go do 2 days in Australia.
That is true.
What is what's going on in Australia?
I don't know. I'm really conflicted about this. I got offered a festival.
You're conflicted, dude. You're going to Australia.
I know, but do you know how far it is? Do you know what that flight's like? It's 26 hours there and 26 hours back, and the festival's 8 hours outside of Sydney. So that's the way I see it. That's a minimum of 52 hours flying plus 16 hours of driving, and the whole thing is going to be 6 days. So if you do the math on that, it's going to be kind of nuts.
Okay, that part kind of sucks. That
Yeah.
part kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But still, that's awesome.
Yeah, it is cool. It's
I
good.
don't know that you'll get any downtime. What's the, but
No.
like, is it, no downtime.
I don't think so.
But is it a cool festival?
I hope so. Sure hope so. I don't know. I had to, actually, one of the ways I sold my wife on the fact that this was a good idea was, I was like, I will be bumped up to platinum medallion on Delta if
Now
I do
we're
this.
talking.
She's like, is that seriously a consideration? I'm like, it is. Yep.
Is she, so I assume then she is not going with you.
No, very few. It's not a cheap flight. We're going pretty. We're streamlining the operation for the Australia trip.
But still, that's pretty cool. It is weird that it's like right in the middle of the tour, though.
Yeah, but the way I do it these days, because as you know, I have several children.
Yes, you do.
I've sired many a daughter, and we to try to keep it fun and keep it festive, we just do a couple weeks and
right,
then
and then you
breaks.
go back.
Yeah, whenever it's up to me, that's kind of how we do it now. So.
Hey, let me ask you this, because since you mentioned your kids, I watched the movie that you did, Last Man Standing. It's like, I don't know, 35, 36 something minutes like that. First of all, what was the idea behind doing the movie?
Well, the thing is, there's actually there's a filmmaker, Peter Harding, who did it, and we called him and said, can we hire you to do a 2-minute promo that kind of is a calling card for this record, because it's a unique concept, and we thought that'd be a cool way to explain it. So the guy flew out, and he made a big thing of like, look, I'm into doing this, but it can't drag on. And we said, okay. So he came out, and he spent a few days with me filming, and then just kept, every week we'd say, hey, Peter, how's it going? And he'd say, I need a little more time. And we're like, okay. And so then it really had gone on. And then he ended up sending us basically a film.
Right.
Because he said, because he wanted to do it. So this thing started as us hiring him to do this promo thing, and it kind of has become his thing,
Right.
And we said, well, we still kind of need a 2-minute thing, And he said, well, how about if I just make it a trailer for a film and we do this for real? And, that's kind of exciting and cool and flattering, and like, all right, go ahead then, man, do your thing. So this really wasn't This is kind of his thing.
Because I'll tell you, I saw the first thing I saw was the 2-minute trailer, and I was with you. I was like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then you see like the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unreal. I mean, he really did a nice job with that.
Yeah, thanks. That's cool. You've seen, because we haven't, we did 2 screenings of it, and he's still cutting it and stuff. But it's, and I hadn't seen it until I saw the screen, till I was at the screening, and I was an emotional wreck.
I was going to say, do you tear up when you watch it?
Yeah. I mean, there's that part where my second daughter, I mean, it kills me. I just, he just asks her. I didn't know he had asked her stuff. I didn't have a problem with it, but he didn't talk while he was with me. For 3 days, I wondered if this gentleman liked me at all. Like, I didn't know. He didn't talk. He's the opposite of me.
Right.
And then I see this interview with, my 8-year-old talking about how she feels about me traveling. It's like, it's emotional.
Yeah, no, but it's awesome. But do you still send your kid, bless you, do you still send your kids postcards from every stop?
Oh, yeah, I sent them last night. Maybe not every stop, but I do send them several a week, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And, the other part that I thought was really nice is you talk about how like it shows you leaving to go out on the road and stuff, and it kind of covers the different parts of doing the record. But there's one part where you're talking about not when everything's done, but like when that leg's done and you're on your way home. It's like the second you're 2 miles from the house, like everything starts going and your body starts going. You're like, you're two miles away from seeing I'm sure you care about your wife, but it's like, I'm 2 miles from home. And you said that rush is amazing. But I would imagine it's like that for anybody who's out on the road who has kids or a family back at home.
Yeah, well, or even if you're not on the road, I just think like my friends, I got so many friends working hard and trying to get home for that 30 minutes before bed to just, they're, I have loved being a father. There's a lot of endorphins that go with that,
and they have some good old footage of you and your wife from back in, I guess I didn't realize, her from way back in high school.
Yeah, we met when we were young. Although it was funny that she doesn't
eye.
seem to remember. She's like, we were sophomores, maybe junior. I'm like, how can you not remember this? This is like, I've written 3 records about you, So,
you say that the best piece of advice that you ever got was if you take care of the music will take care of you. Who gave you that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where I got that. I want to say it was a songwriter named Brooks. I don't know. Brooks Williams. It was Brooks Williams, whose name had escaped me. He's a folk guy up in Western Mass, and I asked him if I could take him out for tea and get some secrets when I was working at the kiosk, and that was a very sound piece of advice. A lot you can't control in this business, but the music is up to you.
And then you guys spend a little time talking about 26 seconds of silence, and you talk about how it took you, and it's around, or it's based off of Sandy Hook in Newtown, but you talk about how a lot of those kids, when they kind of shut down the schools, they moved up the road and went to school with your family, like with your kids.
Yeah, now they all go to school in our town now. That was very geographically close.
Right.
And obviously I had children that same age at the same time when that happened. So, and I wonder about that movie because that was like one thing I was worried about when I saw that. And that was the worst day of my life and my family was okay.
Right.
So I don't know, I just don't, even discussing it, you just never want to disrespect in any way the memory or the impact of that moment in time.
Sure.
And as a result, I didn't write about it because I just thought, what can I say until I had a point of view, which was on that song. I do have a point of view.
Right. But, and I was going to say, and I feel like they really capture that in the clip in the movie, because they do talk about, especially hearing you say like a song hit you and you had to pull over at a truck stop and it had to be done in a week. And then, you back that up with what you're talking about with 26 seconds, and you're talking about it took you years to be able to sit down and even start to write something about sadness and anger and the impact of that day. And like you said, you don't want to be disrespectful and just come out with a song and like, oh, here it is.
Right.
That really had to sit in you for a while.
Well, it did, and I knew I wanted to write about it. And honestly, actually, he's a native, but Chip Johnson and I wrote that song together, and he sent me the piano part to that, and that's what opened it up. And that's when it literally opened me up, and I then was able to express what was on my mind,
Hard song to play?
The hardest, I didn't even, singing that song in the studio, it was just like taking punches. It just, I'd make it halfway and then say, blow my nose, drink some water, start again, But it's something. The thing about this job that nobody that doesn't do it could ever understand is you're compelled to do it. It's not an option to not do what you're doing. And with that song, it was like, I got to get this out. I got to say this, but it breaks my heart.
Right. But, and it's funny that you say that, because you do say that in the movie. You do this because you don't feel like you have any other option, that this is what you have to do.
Yeah.
And not just for that song specifically, but just as a songwriter and a musician.
Just songs, like they come into your consciousness, and I think Tom Petty said once, like, if the muse visits you and you don't write it down, that's just rude, Right. And that's how it is, You think this is an inconvenient time to have words floating around in my head, but it's such a gift, because when you write it down and you share it and you put it out, then it's like, then it makes it okay. Then it's relief, It's like that's how it works.
And I can't remember who it is in the movie. It may be your wife. I don't remember. But I feel like there was somebody in the movie who said, you don't give yourself enough credit for being a songwriter. Is that true?
Serena Ryder, when she said...
Actually, you know what? I think you're right. I think it is her.
That was cool. Yeah. That was super cool. She... and I don't know if that's exactly what she said, but... that was another thing when I watched it for the first time. There's some people I have tremendous respect for that said some pretty nice things, and that means a lot to me.
And then let me ask you about one other song that you mentioned during the movie, The Open Heart, where you talk about that's the song that you want played at your funeral. A little early for that, isn't it?
I know, but that's how I think. I've got like a Buddy Holly complex. Every night I'm like, is this it? Is this it? Is this it? It's been that way since the beginning.
Oh, I'd love to be on a bus with you, thinking this. You know what? This could be the last night. Here we go.
I know. You wouldn't. Definitely not.
Wait, I can ask Boots. Is he a dick on the bus?
No, but the thing is, we don't have a bus. So.
Cat's out of the bag.
But right now, by the way, does that song change ever? Of your funeral song? Or is that the first one where you're like, you know what, that's it?
That's the first time I've thought, like, that's the point, hey, so what, it opened up my heart, like, hey, that's kind of what it's about, the older you get, just learning and growing.
You're not old.
No, I know, but I am older than I was.
You're older than you were yesterday, but big deal.
Heck
big deal.
No, I know. I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying, but it changes.
I mean, it's not silent treatment days, but still, you're not an old man.
Would that it were, man. Would that it were,
All right, what are we gonna play next?
We're gonna play Shady Esperanto and the Young Hearts. All right. Lilac released me from a sting of the queen bee, held me to forget about the lions chasing me. If a man among us has the notion that he's free, I entreat you to the challenge, stand on up and let's see. You get you got I never wanna get old. Smile on a sunbaked, I get jealous of myself, like Shady Esperanto in a young heart's carousel. Hardest part has always been to resurrect my soul, lightning in my youth and a newest way. Just got I never wanna get old. can't try enough. You keep fighting. You keep on fighting me. You keep on fighting, baby. Don't you know you already won? Since summer in the city, we were hanging on the lawn, talking all the time about where the time had gone. It's not the way I thought it'd be, it's not what I was told. I've got a young heart and I never wanna get old. I never wanna get old. To get old. I never wanna get old. I never wanna get old. I never wanna get old, and I'm never gonna get old. I'm never gonna get old. And you try, 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 you get. Oh, but you can't try enough.
It's Elliot in the morning. Stephen Kellogg is with us. One quick break. More with him next.
Elliot in the morning. WWDC conducts various register-to-win contests.
The record, Southwest, Northeast. In concert tonight at the Hamilton here in D.C. And then you get the Ashland Coffee and Tea, December 26th. Ram's Head on Stage, December 27th. Daryl's House, December 28th. And then I didn't write down the dates in Australia, but if anybody's going, you'll find them. All right, a couple of other things that I have to get into with you. I was watching something or reading something rather, that you posted online, talking about the Dead shows. And then watching, dude, I know you. Well, I don't think that you went because you were talking about having watched the videos.
I did, yeah.
How great are those videos,
Oh,
though?
it was cool, man. My kids were looking at me like, they're like, "Can we go upstairs now?" But
no, you may not.
We made grilled cheeses. I was like, "Let's all put on tie-dye." And they're like, "Okay, this is going to be fun." And then the night we watched the Dead open with like some pretty obscure stuff, and they were like, "Can we go play with our Barbies now?" Like,
nope, you have to watch this.
Totally, yeah.
But what is this picture?
Okay, so we're looking at me with hair down my back. It says, "Welcome back, Grateful Dead." We're at Highgate there. There's my then girlfriend, now wife.
Now your wife.
Right.
Yep.
To my left is a girl who I went to a dance with that I met my wife at.
Oh, is this an awkward with you
that was
sandwich?
Happy. That was a happy time there. But no, it was, luckily we all were friends, and it was...
So she, now future wife, was comfortable that you had pursued this girl?
Well, I hadn't pursued that girl. That girl, I'm not going to say she'd pursued me, but she invited me to a dance, and that's where I
lost my virginity.
No.
Oh.
Met my wife.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like held hands with my wife that night. And then my wife's
Have you had
brother's on
sex
the
with
left.
both women in this picture?
No.
Okay.
No. You just woke Sam up there.
Sam, have you had sex with both women in this picture?
Sam?
No, I haven't. No.
But Sam does. Well, no. Yeah. No.
No. Go ahead.
Well,
you can't start that sentence.
Sam, we have a great time with the Getzes. Sam and his wife. They're also met very young. We have a great time.
Right.
And both of us have stunning wives, you know, and when we were on a tour, I remember that one time when Kirsten, my wife, walked by and Sam said, "Your butt looks great in those jeans." And I looked at him like, okay,
they were good jeans.
I guess that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I guess that's fine. And it is. But yeah.
And then I also love, but was it your dad that was a big Grateful Dead dude?
My dad would play American Beauty, just that one album, and I didn't really. But then I went and kind of caught the Dead in high school and was blown away. I mean, and they're one of my favorite bands of all time. I just love what they do. You know?
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
They're great. Yeah. But when I was reading about what you wrote, is that you were talking about that they gave you a lot of the courage that you have, like when you go up on stage, because they just kind of embrace that we're not perfect, so whatever.
Right, totally. Every night's a new canvas. If we don't get them tonight, we'll get them in the next one, but let's take chances and try to play the ball where it lies. Like that philosophy is powerful, and I've been keeping my set lists archived for years, 2 decades now,
because of
of the Dead. It's like, what's the band? And people would go to concerts with me. I'm like, what's going to be the opener? Let's all vote. I love that part of the show,
And I love that you love Me and Bobby McGee.
Yeah. Chris Christophers, yeah.
Love that song.
Yeah.
Love it. And then what's the picture of you in footy pajamas?
Those are just my pajamas. Those are a big hit with the kids, and they're very comfortable. and sometimes the pictures make it out into the world. But I love my littlest one when she says, "Oh, elephant pajamas! Like I've got a pair of those. It's so great. It's cool. That's good."
Do they ever? Do you ever take them out on the road?
I do take the older two have started to come out with me sometimes. I mean, they have school, and we get that letter every year that says, it says, your kids can't miss any more school.
So they peek out at the absence.
They do every year, and usually well before the end of the year. So it's always a little stressful about how this is going to go. But we have incredible experiences, and when I miss them, it's just wonderful to be with them, and so that's getting to be fun. The holiday run, they always come on with me now. And
I was going to say, will everybody bring family out, or does that get to be too much?
Well, that's where the bus would be a big difference,
right?
Because it's a lot, and it's a lot for the people that are out on the road to ask that of them, because I think my kids are wonderful, but it's they're kids, so
yeah,
it's
right.
Like you get in the van, and 45 minutes later, somebody's got to pee, and it's like, seriously, every trip takes 30% longer, but no, it's why I love it. It's why I do what I do. I mean, it's family music. That doesn't get any better.
And Sam, what is your connection to John Daly?
Oh, well, I guess the same as most of us. He was a Sixers fan, right?
Yeah.
So John Daly was a Sixers fan and started contacting the Sixers. I don't know.
Would he really? So he would just send you guys letters of hey, let's just go party?
He tweeted at me and said, I want you to be the official sponsor for my drink. And the official band. And I said, sounds good. And then the next day, my name was on the website for the drink. It was okay, all right, let's do this. But yeah,
because I saw a picture I don't know exactly how long ago it was, but you guys were out golfing with him.
Yeah, so we did a gig at the World Am event, and he was one of the big people that were speaking and playing for all the amateurs were watching. I don't know. And he threw a party to kind of promote his beverage, and we played the party. I guess that's what we did. But he took us out golfing, so we got to play with him.
That's pretty awesome.
He wore shorts and
flip-flops
and golfed with one hand, and still was driving 300 yards.
Yeah.
Insane.
And he sang. It was right after he had that heart. He collapsed on the tee.
He pretty much died
5 days earlier or something.
2
days earlier, and then we ended up on TMZ because we went to an open mic the next night, and we were playing Big Easy and Knocking on Heaven's Door, and he's a character.
Yeah, I think they found irony in the song choice, Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then last thing before we play another song, John McLaughlin, you're friends with him.
Yeah, one of my good friends. Yeah.
Is he a cool dude?
Oh yeah.
All right, because he's going to be in here on Thursday.
He is. Oh yeah. Have you not met him?
I've not met him before.
He's got a really.
Wait, when did I meet him? Last December. Oh, you know what? I did meet him. Yeah. Okay.
I'm glad. I'll let him know he made quite an impression on you.
Yeah,
That's
he did.
Good.
He did.
Right. He's an incredibly funny dude, and he's a great human, and one of many of us, one of our best buds.
Probably
in
our most
business.
handsome friend.
And he's
a very good looking man.
Good looking guy.
He's a very good
besides
looking man.
That's irritating.
Yeah, exactly. All right, give me one more song, and then I'll get you out of here.
Thanks for having us, man. Gonna choose sunlight, gonna drink wine. I'm bound to win a few fights before my time. Gonna make love now, ain't the future bright? I'm gonna be the last man standing tonight. Gonna be the last man, gonna be the last man, gonna be the last man standing tonight. Gonna make a difference, gonna speak my mind, even when my nerve fails, even in the dark times. Gonna count the blessings, celebrate the wins. Gonna be the last man standing, yeah. All right. Gonna be a good friend, gonna be a family guy. I'm gonna pour my heart out till the day after I die. When I am an angel looking for a landing, I'm gonna be the last man standing. Alright. Gonna be the last man, gonna be the last man, gonna be the last man standing tonight. Gonna be the last man, gonna be the last man, gonna be the last man standing tonight. Gonna be the last man, gonna be the last man, gonna be the last man standing tonight. I'm gonna be the last man standing tonight.
The record is Southwest Northeast. Tonight, you will see Stephen Kellogg at the Hamilton. And again, Ashland Coffee and Tea, December the 26th. Rams Head on stage in Annapolis on the 27th.
Sad to report that terminally ill Star Wars fan has passed away just a few days after he was granted his final wish, which was to see the new movie before it opened up in theaters. That's Daniel Fleetwood from Houston. He was just shown an unfinished version of The Force Awakens this past Thursday.
Wow.
And his wife posted early this morning that he passed away in his sleep and in peace.
Holy crap.
He was 32 years old.
That sucks.
He knew.
Oh, yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I mean, they said that going in, but you don't think like within a week.
Yeah.
Wow, that's something.
Yeah, so he was 32 years old. Relatives and friends gathering to mourn the death of a 6-year-old boy killed when officers fired at his dad's vehicle last week in Louisiana. Jeremy Martis laid to rest yesterday in Mississippi. His dad, still in a Louisiana hospital, and from as far as we had heard, had not been told that his son had passed away.
Everything I read yesterday said that they had not told the father yet about his 6-year-old son. I don't know if that changes with the funeral having taken place.
Right.
But up until that, I know he hadn't been told anything. Those cops were screwed.
Yeah, because I guess the video from their police body cameras shows that the driver, the dad, had his hands up. And they have both been charged with second-degree murder as well as attempted second-degree, both being held
on $1 million bond.
Yeah.
No, that they got problems.
Story we talked about yesterday, the president of the University of Missouri System, Tim Wolf, resigning yesterday amid all of the ongoing protests by black student groups over the handling of racial incidents on campus, which had led at least 30 black members of the football team to say that they wouldn't play until the university president was gone. They said that alone would have cost them $1 million if they missed this upcoming weekend's football game. Hours after his resignation, the chancellor also announced that he would step down at the end of the year.
At the end of the year, right.
Also, SeaWorld announcing it'll be phasing out its current killer whale show next year and replacing it with a new experience at their park in San Diego. It'll highlight the new one, their natural behaviors, and will include conservation messaging and tips on how to make a difference for orcas in the wild.
Right. So it's funny because they're getting a little bit of like, oh, good for them, but not really all that good.
Right.
It's like a little half step.
Lamb of God's Randy Blythe assaulted late Sunday night, early yesterday morning, according to a post that he put up after their gig in Dublin, Ireland. On Instagram, he said he was attacked by a group of teenage dudes, with one of them striking him in the head from behind. They said he did sustain some injuries to his elbow and his head, but acknowledges it could have been a lot worse if not for a taxi driver who saw what was happening and
started honking the horn, so they ran. Yeah, he said he was just out taking pictures.
Yeah.
I mean, he's big into photography.
Yeah.
So he's just out taking pictures, kind of like in a cul-de-sac type area.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he just saw 5 guys roll up on him. And he's like, I knew what was coming. You got a sense. But you're right. That cab driver starts blowing his horn and honking when he sees Blythe getting banged up. Like, oh, my God, man.
Also, according to the Marine Corps, if you know a Marine, the proper way to greet them today is Happy Birthday Marine in honor of their 240th. Also, news out of the Mets camp, Jose Reyes, the Rockies shortstop, reportedly arrested for assaulting his wife at a hotel room in Hawaii.
Yeah.
They said the incident took place at the Four Seasons Resort in Maui, and it goes back to Halloween night.
Yeah, so I guess they said like he had grabbed her by the throat, shoved her into a plate glass window.
Yeah.
Like nothing good.
Yeah, she ended up with thigh, neck, and wrist injuries. The whole thing's still under investigation. He is out on bail at this point. Monday Night Football, the Bears over the Chargers, 22-19 last night. Caps in Detroit tonight to play Mike Green and the Red Wings. Also, the Wizards will be playing Kevin Durant and the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at Verizon Center. Bradley Beal still listed as questionable for the game tonight. That's a look at news.
866-235-5468. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Chris.
Hey, Chris, how are you doing, sir?
Awesome.
Good deal. Listen, I'm going to give you a pair of tickets. You will join us for Elliot in the Morning's holiday concert. That will take place on December the 3rd.
Awesome.
I am also going to give you passes to go backstage and meet Bastille, who will be there with Fall Out Boy, AWOL Nation, and the Struts. So, dude, if you could hold tight 1 second for me, Kaylee just needs to get some info from you, and you will enjoy the show.
All right, thanks, man.
Oh, hey, real quick, have you ever let your house be rented out through Airbnb?
No, I have not.
You have not. Have you ever gone the other way and used somebody's house?
No.
No. All right, no big deal. All right, listen, hold tight 1 second for me. Like I said, Kaylee will get some info from you, and I'll see you on the 3rd. All right, dude?
All right, thank you, man.
You got it, brother. Hold on 1 second. I'll have more of those tickets for you tomorrow. And then for the remainder of the week, you get those tickets, and then you go backstage and you meet Bastille. So we'll do that again tomorrow. Also tomorrow, Patricia Murphy will be on with us. We'll go over the Republican presidential debate from today, or tonight, I should say, and so she'll be on with us tomorrow. Kaylee, will you do me a favor? Will you find me somebody who has listed their house with Airbnb, please? 866-2-ELLIOT, 866-235-5468. The only reason I ask, who's responsible if something happens?
Like what?
Well, I mean, it could be something small or it could be something very, very extreme.
I feel like we've been through this before, and everyone passes off the responsibility.
But somebody's got to be responsible.
You'd think ultimately, but it seems like stuff is just in limbo.
So is it the homeowner then? Let's say, for example, I rent out, or I list my house, right? And Diane, you and Scott get my house for a weekend, right?
Yeah.
And you're there, and let's say that I have a swing that's attached to a tree in the backyard. I don't, but let's pretend I do, right? And the tree, Scott's out swinging on the tree, and the tree kind of collapses and falls on Scott, and it kills him.
Okay.
Now, it turns out the tree was dead. It really shouldn't have had a swing attached to it, but Scott didn't know that. I didn't say anything. So now Scott's dead because he swung on my swing, and you guys got my house through Airbnb. Who's responsible then?
I think at that point, Airbnb is going to pass it over to the homeowner.
Yeah. Right. And what's the homeowner going to say?
I think you should call Airbnb.
Exactly. By the way, that's a real story.
Somebody died?
Well,
On
not
a
just
swing?
one person. Several people have died.
Oh.
But the swing story is true. The swing story is 100% true, where a couple, went and stayed at this house that they got through Airbnb, right? Guy goes out in the backyard, and he's swinging on a swing, and the tree collapses because it's dead, crushes the guy. So now there's this whole debate, which Tyler is right. This comes up regularly of who's in charge. And the homeowners will go, well, wait a minute. You guys come out here. You help this presentation so that people will rent my house. So you have a vested in it. You were here. You saw what we had. So they have a vested interest in wanting to rent your house out.
Right.
So why don't they go through and do a little inspection? Airbnb will go, no. We're not responsible for that.
Well, but the homeowner knew that the tree was dead, right?
I don't know the answer to that.
Oh.
I don't know the answer to that. Do you know if a tree is dead?
Not always. I feel like the people who knock on your door will inform you sometimes of a tree's dead or living.
Right, and it needs to be removed
status,
as soon as they're done resurfacing my driveway.
Oh.
That's when they'll get around to the tree. Mm-hmm. So does Airbnb, they have no inspectors for a house?
I don't know.
They have they don't send anybody through to look at it. But they do send people out there to like take pictures and help make sure that the house will be rented, because that way they get their money. But they won't go through and inspect anything. I know that there was no inspection done on the family that got their house through Airbnb and somebody died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Ooh.
And then Airbnb was like, well, they should have had like one of those little plug-in things where you would know. And that family was like, well, you're the ones who recommended that the house get rented and listed. And then, of course, the family, well, they're going to go after everybody.
Well, the family with the dead person, of course.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. They'll go after everyone. As well they should. So who's at fault? Or does that have to change?
Oh, they better start assigning blame to people.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have even gotten my house because Airbnb put their stamp of approval on it and said, rent this house. So I wouldn't have even been to that house if Airbnb wouldn't have said it was cool.
I mean, they need to be more strict then.
Who's they?
Airbnb?
Yeah, well, that's what everybody's saying. Why don't they have inspectors?
I don't know. I still think it's the owner of
the
owner
homeowner?
Of the house, yeah.
Well, I didn't know I had a dead tree.
Okay. Did you know there was a carbon monoxide problem?
I had no idea. If I knew there was a carbon monoxide problem, you know what? As the owner, thank God I found out there's a carbon monoxide problem.
You're going to say it was good the tenant was killed instead
I'm not going to say that publicly, and I'm not going to say it to the news, but whoo! Thank God I learned about that. But you know what I mean? Like, the homeowner doesn't want that problem. They didn't know that was bad. The homeowner isn't trying to kill anybody.
Well, yeah, they obviously don't want the problem of someone dying on their property.
No! God, that's the last thing you want.
No, so maybe there should be this inspection process.
There has to be. There has to be. They do it
Regular
for
hotels have to do it, or motels.
I slip and fall at a motel.
Maybe some motels.
I know who I'm going after.
Yeah.
I'm shaking that tree. I wasn't even going to stay at that motel till I heard their ad on the radio station. Where am I going, Kaylee? Line 5? Hi, Elliot, in the morning.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
This is Deirdre.
Yes, Deirdre, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. What do you call me about? You use Airbnb?
Yes, I do. So I both rented out and I rented out my apartment in college, actually.
And now let me ask you this: you have to get it listed through Airbnb, right?
Yeah.
So what is their process dealing with you as the renter?
I mean, honestly, there wasn't that much they asked for. I just downloaded an app, and then you just take some pictures and you put it up on there, and then it's listed. That's it.
Right, but they give you clearance to be able to do that.
No. I mean...
Well, no, you have to go through the application process.
I mean, it's not like an application process. Like, anybody can do it. I mean, I was actually technically subletting my apartment, so I probably shouldn't have been doing it.
Landlord might have had an issue with that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But it was like a really easy way to make some quick money. So that's what I did.
Does anybody ever tell you what happens if somebody gets banged up pretty bad at your apartment?
No. I've never heard of anything bad happening.
Well, then don't read this article. This is all about bad things happening. But for example,
I mean, I'm sure.
I know that for example, if everybody were to come over to my house and you fell through the stairs, I know I'm responsible for that, right? As the homeowner.
I think you have to agree. I think you assume some liability when that you might hurt yourself if you're going to stay at this place and you agree to it.
How is there an assumption that I'm going to get hurt?
I mean, I don't know.
Let me ask you this.
I don't know who's responsible.
Have you stayed at a hotel before?
Yes.
When you go to the hotel, do you have an assumption that you're going to get hurt?
No.
Right. Well, but it should be the same way.
Oh, no, I agree. I definitely agree.
I shouldn't have the assumption that I'm going to stay at somebody's house and I'm going to die of carbon monoxide poisoning.
I would hope not, yeah.
And by the way, if I'm responsible, I'm not renting my place out. Although, at that point, you probably just roll the dice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was just rolling the dice, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. But you know whose luck would have it where something bad's going to happen? This guy.
First time out.
Yep. Oh, first person.
Mm-hmm.
I probably got some gas leak that I didn't even know about. But I don't know who's responsible. And that's what they say. It's the guy who died's fault. I rented my house, not my yard. Okay, that's not true.
He's a lawyer.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Where am I going? Line 2? Hi, Elliot, in the morning.
Hey, is this me?
Yeah, hi, who's this?
This is Brian.
Hey, what's up, Brian?
Yeah, I rent from Airbnb all the time when I'm traveling for work.
Right.
But most of the time, these places don't really have anything in them. The apartments, I've done one in New York, I've done one in Tampa, and they're just kind of empty shell places. So I think that kind of, you run a less risk of getting hurt because there's nothing in them.
Right. But now what about when you rent your joint out?
It's the same thing. I mean, I'm not renting my place out with any of my stuff out. I'm not going to have. I mean, the places I go, obviously, people own these places, but there's no pictures. There's a couch, and that's pretty much it.
Right. No. But when you're going to have your place listed, what is the I've never done it, but what is the process for getting it done?
You just got like she just said. You got to put the photos and stuff up on the site and make sure that it looks, it's a home. But there's not going to be anything in there that's going to run the risk. You're not going to have all your personal belongings out there. A, for somebody to grab and hurt themselves on, because then that's yours, and obviously then it's your responsibility. But I think it's on you to put all your stuff away. Every time I go to these places, there's at least one or two closets that have a deadbolt on them.
Right, and so all their stuff gets put in there. But I could just slip on your kitchen floor.
Well, yeah, you could. You could slip on your own kitchen floor. I mean, of course.
Doesn't matter if I slip on my kitchen floor. If I slip on your kitchen floor, I'm going to sue your ass off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, no, it's an excellent point. And then you're screwed.
Yeah. Unless you can kind of put a bunch of a list of your rules, so to speak. When I was in Florida, it was no parties, no bachelor parties. For some reason, well, I know why they put bachelor parties and bachelor parties because I was in Tampa.
Right.
But they said things that you can't do, and I wouldn't be surprised. And if that is something that concerns you, put a little line in there that says it. Any damage to yourself in there is your responsibility.
So you have no issue with Airbnb not doing any inspections?
I didn't say that. I mean, but at the same time, I mean, who's supposed to come in? Do they have people all over the country that are going to go in and do these inspections?
They would like them to.
Well, I can imagine. But, I mean, she told me when I was checking out, I was told to be out by 11 because they had a cleaning crew coming in and the next people coming in that afternoon.
Wow.
So I don't even know when they would have time to come in and do a full home inspection before each person that you're I mean, if you're going to rent out that regularly.
But hotels aren't doing it. Hotels aren't doing it all the time. But if I were Airbnb, I would want to have it inspected before I say, okay, now you can start listing your apartment on our site.
You mean like a one-time, first-time only thing?
Annually, maybe? I don't know. At some point. What do they do at hotels? What do they do at hotels?
I have no idea. I mean, I stayed at enough hotels too, but I don't know how the inspection process works at hotels. If that's an annual thing? Even still, then you do it once a year. That means that it's clear now that 11 months down the road, if you slip and fall, then you're fine.
Okay, I don't know what the timeline is, but there should be something.
No, I agree with you because I'm not trying to get my ass chewed if something happens and something goes wrong.
Yeah. The next thing you know, I fell down in your shower. I broke both legs. I'm suing your ass like crazy.
No, exactly. You're also an idiot if you do that, but I get it.
Well, whatever. So was the guy who got coffee spilled on him, and he got $100 million.
You're a rich idiot.
It's good for him.
Yeah, exactly. All right, dude. Hey, listen, I appreciate it. Thank you, bro.
Thanks, Elliot.
You got it, dude. Talk to you later. Line 4. Hi, Elliot. In the morning.
Hello?
Hey, who's this?
Liz.
Yes, Liz. What can I do for you?
I have stayed at Airbnb a few times. This past summer, we went abroad and stayed at 3 different apartments, and it was awesome. It was half the price of a hotel. Everyone gave us a bottle of wine when we got there. Like, there was a bottle of wine waiting in the kitchen. They all met us. We had 3 sets of keys to get into the apartment, so we felt really safe.
Right.
No,
I don't question. By the way, when I drink that bottle of wine, I'm going to fall down and I'm going to bang my head on something and then I'm going to sue you. No,
See,
I don't.
The thing is, I don't think you have a case because it's personal liability when you rent. You assume that personal liability. If you slip on the floor, unless they came in and spilled the water in front of you before you slipped, it's not their fault. They weren't even there.
So when you I don't know what you live in now, but have you ever lived in an apartment building?
I have.
Right. So when something bad happens to you in an apartment building, that's your fault, not the apartment's fault?
It depends. I mean, if the roof fell in on you and you got hurt like that, yes, that's the apartment's fault. But if you slip on your kitchen floor because you were washing the dishes and you spilled water, they're not covering you at all.
How about when that dead tree in your yard comes down on me?
It depends. If you own the home, that's on you. If you're renting the home, it may be on the homeowner, depending. But it could be an act of God, which, in case, they just say it's a freak accident.
Well, that's not an act of God. The tree was dead.
It depends. If the tree, it depends on if the level. If the tree was clearly dead and it was leaning in a way, we just had a tree in our side yard cut by Petco because they didn't want their lines at risk.
Right.
So they took down the tree. So I think it would just depend on the negligence. If you can prove negligence by the homeowner, then yes, you have a case.
So is it just? Hey, thank you, ma'am. Is it just like the like when Coke used to be in bottles and they just knew that every so often one was going to explode? It was going to take somebody's eye out and they'd have to pay $1 million.
It's not like that because Airbnb is not doing that.
Airbnb doesn't even have to worry about that. Yeah, so what do they care? Elliot, we rented one where I'm assuming that's supposed to be glass shower door exploded on our friend. We had to pay for it. You had to pay for the shower door? Oh, God. Oh, would I be angry? So they had to pay for the shower door? I wouldn't pay. Then come after me for money.
Well, yeah, couldn't they show all the different cases of how they explode spontaneously for no reason? It's not like they did anything wrong.
Well, they had to pay for it.
I know.
So is that part of the agreement? If I break it, I'm responsible for it?
Well, that would make sense if you break something or put a hole in something or bust something up. That, to me, is not your fault.
Right. What about the glass shower door?
I'm talking about the glass shower door.
Oh, so you should, as the renter, you should have to pay for that?
That's not like knocking over
a vase.
A vase, exactly. That's a little different.
Yeah, but what if it just exploded spontaneously? You can't prove that.
Yeah, what condition was it in? It's tough. TJ brings up Uber and having inspectors like Uber does.
Oh, does Uber have inspectors? Or do they just say that the car passed inspection and so now you're good to go? Does Uber inspect?
He says that they're inspected by local inspectors before they can start.
That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. Don't they tell you if you're in an Uber and it gets in an accident, you should just walk away?
What if you're hurt?
If you can walk, then you should just walk away.
But then,
I've been in cabs that's been in an accident. You just get out and walk.
You're a passenger. What if you're injured as a passenger?
Well, yes, that's a whole different thing. But if you're just in a fender bender, you just get out and leave. Although that's different. Cab, because then you haven't paid yet. Different with Uber because they've already got all your crap.
Yeah, I feel like you've said that before for cabs.
Yeah, no, you definitely just get out and walk away.
Would hold true when
they
all
have
of
all
your
info.
Why are the cops at my house? Our Jack tweets, if Airbnb does these inspections, they assume liability. If they don't, place it all on the property owner.
That's right. No, exactly right. But if I were a property owner, don't you want, and that's what I mean, you have to get into it with the assumption that nothing's going to happen. Or else if you were the property owner, you would want them to inspect it just to cover your ass.
Well, if you get like a nice little badge on your online listing, some people would like that.
That would be great.
Angie's List, something like that.
That'd be awesome.
That's not a scam at all.
No, that would be great, but then you would still have to have it inspected.
No, I know. But I'm saying some people would want that.
Yeah, I would think so.
Because then you can maybe filter out search results by inspected properties.
I would want it to be inspected because I don't want to be responsible when that tree falls on someone.
I'll search by prices low to high.
Yeah.
Who am I kidding? I will never do it.
What, rent your place out?
Or rent an Airbnb place.
Oh, see, I would rent. I would never rent out. I would definitely rent.
Yeah, but then what happens when you're there and the shower door explodes?
By the way, may have
you're
to do
walking.
that in Aberdeen. I didn't hear from the Ripkins yesterday.
No?
No, they didn't reach out with a free, not even a free, but just a room. So I may have to, if somebody is in Abington, Maryland, I need you. And I hope you have a little carbon monoxide issue. I'd like to sue you. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hello?
By the way, are there people? Jesus Christ. Wait, hold on one second, ma'am. That's the shower door? Holy crap. By the way, that ain't cheap. That ain't cheap. Oh, I don't like that washcloth just hanging there. That's dirty.
They didn't want to touch it.
That's blood.
By the way, don't you also believe there are people that probably just go around making money by filing lawsuits against the property owners?
I mean, I
That's
feel like
a
that
job.
could get costly on the other end too.
What? Just filing the lawsuit? $50.
That's it?
To file a lawsuit? Yeah, $50.
Not online, like brick and mortar lawsuit.
I believe it's either 50 or 100, something like that. It's no more than 150.
I'll check LegalZoom.
To file a lawsuit? No, it costs you nothing. I can file a lawsuit against Diane right now for $100 million.
Don't you have to,
cost me $100.
You got to pay a lawyer though, right?
$100.
That's it.
Yeah,
that includes the lawyer.
The lawyer's doing the filing. Yeah, you go into a law firm. It's like $100, $150. They file the lawsuit. You file it for like $100 million. Company settles with you for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and everybody walks away. Everybody walks away happy except the company that had to spend $40,000. I'm telling you, it's cheap as hell. Why wouldn't I do that to I would just Airbnb my way through life and then file lawsuits. I'm sorry, yes. Go ahead, ma'am.
Oh, is this me?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, this is Jen, the health inspector. We've talked before.
Oh, hi, Jen, the health inspector. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just listening to all this stuff all over the place. Yeah, there are so many different rules for inspections and everything, and you guys are totally right. They probably really should be inspected, but I bet they're not. If that young lady was saying something about just taking pictures and posting online.
Right.
But hotels and stuff, we actually inspect those 2 to 3 times a year, depending on their kind of turnover rate and population size. So we have to go in there a couple times.
By the way, that doesn't seem like much.
What? 3 times a year?
No, two times a year for a hotel?
You know how many hotels there are?
I know, but
that's impressive.
think
I
about
can't
how
believe
many-
it's more than once a year.
But think about how many people are in and out of there.
Yeah, but you could also, I'm sure that people on the inside or even people who've stayed there can file some sort of complaint with an organization or agency, and then there can be a surprise inspection.
Oh,
well, that's
true.
the thing. The pools are inspected like 10 times a year. The kitchens are inspected like 5 times a year, but it's just the general hotel rooms unless there's a complaint. We
Right.
don't actually inspect it. It just all depends on population and kind of need based. But they're inspected. It's just we look for like a lot of weird stuff lately now, like bed bugs and scary stuff. Like that's the biggest problem now.
Because, I mean, even think about what could go wrong. Think about what goes wrong at your house in 6 months.
Yeah.
Now, do that with a new family coming in every other day for 6 months. By the way, treating it like crap because it's not their house.
Where's my shutter?
It's been off for 2 years.
You guys knocked off my shutter.
By the way, that's the other thing that I would do if I were the homeowner. Yeah. Like if there's anything, like we just broke I just broke the knob on the front door, so now we can't use the front door because I broke the knob on the door.
Yeah.
But I'd blame it on whoever was renting the house. Not me. Renter broke it.
Yeah, but when the renter can't get in that first time, isn't that going to kind of throw water on your theory?
No, because they came in through the garage when I met them with this bottle of wine. They seemed fine. Front door was working right before that.
This way, guys.
And then, now it's broken. See what I mean? That's another good scam.
One weekend and all of this paint damage on the other shutters. One's missing, and at least 6 of them need to be replaced.
No, you know what I mean, though? Doesn't that make
Come
a ton of
on.
sense?
They're getting replaced.
As the homeowner, that's all I would do. It's just I would sue every renter.
Well, can I ask you guys a question? Most rental facilities have to be designated as a rental facility, meaning like they have to have a lead certificate, they have to have a carbon monoxide detector, they have to have all of that stuff.
I don't know where you
think
rent.
Airbnb-
Suck my. I just put that crap up online.
But you're still supposed to. I don't know.
This basement was finished when I handed over the keys. I don't know why it looks like this now.
Oh, I would rip stuff out of the wall the second they left. I would.
Carpet.
Oh, carpet. Well, I got to change all of the carpet. Look at all the blood. Yeah, I got a ton of stuff to do. All right, ma'am. Hey, listen, I appreciate the phone call. Thank you, honey.
No problem. Thank you.
You got to talk to you later. All right, let me take one quick break. It's Elliot in the morning.
Elliot in the morning.
From the John C.
Don't forget sorry, I was just swallowing a brownie. $500 tomorrow again for Elliot in the Morning's November Wham every single day through Thanksgiving. We'll give you $500. Tyler, your state of New Jersey. Remember there was that loophole in the law?
Yeah.
What was that for? That they were one of the few states that allowed.
You could be with a family member, incest.
Oh, that was for incest?
Yeah.
Oh, then you know what? I take it back. I thought that loophole closed yesterday.
I can still be with a family member.
So the incest loophole is still there? The loophole that they closed yesterday was bestiality.
There's a lot of stops on that highway.
Yeah, no, they just... But now you don't face a bestiality charge. I forget what it is, and it's not like carnal or whatever. I should look. It's a day to celebrate for the great state of New Jersey. Tyler, this is all for you. At long last, animal lovers are no longer welcome, those kind of lovers, in the Garden State. Governor Christie signed into law a bill that makes bestiality a crime punishable by 18 months in jail, along with a fine up to $10,000. I had no idea that was still cool in the state of New Jersey.
Damn.
And I thought that was the loophole, but you're right, that was incest.
It definitely was.
Yeah, incest is still okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, did that at some point? That's why we first heard about it. There was a push to close that loophole.
No, that loophole did not get closed. There's no federal law that bans bestiality, so it's a state issue. And up until yesterday, New Jersey was like, yeah, it's cool. Now we've shut it down. So now you can't do that. Yeah, any person subject to this chapter who engages in a natural carnal copulation with an animal is guilty of
bestiality.
Sodomy, actually. But then that still falls under the same
Hooray.
The same umbrella. But now, what was there was another thing that Christie did yesterday. I was going to say, probably won't come up on the debates tonight, but he's not on the big debate.
So it may.
Well, no one will. I hope Patricia
Those
watches.
undercard ones are just chock full of important questions.
What was the other thing that
What's your favorite app?
What was the one that there was also something else yesterday about home delivery of lottery tickets?
I saw this.
But I don't understand what it is.
Does this exist? It's unbelievable. Because think of the times that we've, in the morning, actually it happened to you this morning, have written down or tried to make a note to ourselves.
Mega Millions, 180 million.
That we need to buy a ticket.
Right.
And then
you don't.
8 o'clock rolls around 9 o'clock and you've forgotten. And it's like, I don't want to get in the car and go to the convenience store or the gas station or whatever.
But if I could have somebody deliver that to the house.
That's what they were considering. A delivery service for not only the ticket coming to you, but for the actual cashing in of the ticket as well.
So I could win the lottery and never have to leave my house?
Now, I think it was up to a certain amount.
Okay. So I wouldn't have to go into like 7-Eleven. Sorry, it's a blondie. I don't have to go into the 7-Eleven to get like my $4.
No, they just charge you a fee and they bring it right to your house.
That's pretty smart.
I know, but
for a fee?
Christy said no.
Why was he against it? Is it okay? That's a great question. Is that okay in other states?
He said there is no evidence of a demand for this service in New Jersey or that this bill would increase lottery sales.
I mean, it certainly would. And I think that's why there were people pushing against it. It's just like the same reason people fight against.
So like the 7-Elevens
like any sort
of
of
the world.
slots or.
So it would be mafia run?
No, I mean that it would lead to more addiction.
Nobody cares about the addiction.
People might take advantage of people who are homebound.
See,
elderly.
I was thinking the elderly.
Yeah.
Where it'd be like, oh, well, But if I were 7-Eleven.
No, you signed up for this service where I'm supposed to bring you 10 tickets a day. You don't remember that?
Or you can have a fake service that says, oh, yeah, I'll go cash that for you.
And then you never see me again.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, but then you would get in trouble with the Better Business Bureau.
I feel like we're pointing out a lot. They're frauds.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
Send a letter to my office. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's in the Caribbean.
No, but but like if I get it if you're 7-Eleven, you don't want people not coming into the store. Although plenty of people go in just to play the lotto. And 7-Eleven gets a piece of it if somebody wins. So
was this done only through the state?
No, it was a bogus company. Remember, you just told me that.
No. Those are the people who were going to set up like the scams.
Right.
But if I was doing the delivery service, was there a deal with a convenience store? No, I don't think it was right for the lottery.
Yeah, it was like out of lottery, like lottery headquarters.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, why wouldn't you do that?
That can't exist anywhere. It's crazy.
Does that exist anywhere? That's
really?
Really smart, though. That's really smart. And by the way, it's not my fault if somebody sets up. It's not going to kill. It's not going to be a problem with gambling. And I don't. And yes, there probably wasn't a demand because nobody knew it existed until you told them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't demand something I don't know.
No, you have no idea.
Is available to me.
Yeah. If you had no idea that I could get tickets delivered, can I get lottery tickets through Amazon?
I don't think so.
Come on, Bezos.
What was the fee?
Did they specify it? Because they just said they would let the couriers charge a fee.
Right. Minimal.
And that they couldn't have any of the winnings.
As a means of paying?
I guess so.
Wait, what do you mean you couldn't have any of the winnings?
Like you can't do a percentage of the winnings or something like that, or take the cut of the fee out of the winnings.
So if somebody won $5, you couldn't, and it was 50 cents, you couldn't. You'd have to give them $5, not $4.50.
That's how I read it.
Yeah.
Well, why can't I have a percentage of the winnings?
It's not how it's written.
That's not my fault.
Is that why it didn't pass?
No. There's no demand. Sit down. Shut up. That's really smart.
I hope they ask him about this.
That's a good business.
This could get him back on the main stage.
Isn't that a good business, though?
I think it's brilliant. Because there are plenty of people who maybe don't realize how big a lottery. I mean, think that'd be hard to keep up with the demand when it gets up to 300 million.
Good. That's a good problem. Forget that though. I'm the perfect example. I'm one of the I get mad at myself that I won't pay.
You stop at 7-Eleven all the time.
I know, but I get mad. Well, first of all, when I stop, it's at just after 2 in the morning.
You can buy tickets then.
No, you can't.
No?
No, I can't buy tickets
They
in the
shut
middle
it
of the
off?
night. I don't know what the cutoff time is, but I've asked to buy tickets when I go in there. Maybe my 7-Eleven is completely different. But when I've asked, when I've been in there, let me get a Powerball ticket, they'll tell me they can't sell it to me. So I don't know if those machines get cut off at a certain point.
They do the drawings at 11.
Well, I'm not doing
right?
it on... Yeah, but if I stopped today on the way in and said, hey, give me a Mega Million, the guy would have said, I can't sell you a ticket right now. And that drawing's not till tonight. So, and I'm not stopping at 7-Eleven 2-3 times a day. I'd like to. So to get home and go, hey, you know what? Jimmy, run me over a 5. How great would that be? Jimmy comes over, I get my 5 tickets, I'm good to go.
It looks like the courier service is third party.
Even better. So what were they afraid of? You'd almost want it to be third party. That would make the most sense. Because you don't want them working for the state. Because the second something happened, you would yell corruption. Third party is pretty good.
Now, Gerald has tweeted at us an app called Jack Pocket.
Right. That sounds...
Diane, I know I laughed first, but you were not far behind. And he is in Virginia, and it says, we're sorry, Virginia. We currently don't support gameplay here, but we'd love to. Want Jack Pocket in your state sooner? Let your state lottery know. Now, is Jack Pocket related at all to what we're discussing? Or is it some sort of escort service?
Fake company.
If this is legit, how am I supposed to find out which ones are scams? This one sounds ridiculous. Jack Pocket?
No, because of jackpot, but it's in your pocket.
Thank you, Elliot.
Because it was delivered.
No, that one doesn't sound dirty to me.
You're the only person.
Jacket pocket sounds dirty to me.
No.
Is that what it is, though? You're signing up.
No, I'm going to look at it.
Where am I going, Kaylee?
Here we go. You can do quick pick. You can select numbers.
Wait, right online?
Get a notification with a picture of your ticket and when you win. Is there not? This might not even be a courier service. Nope. It's a mobile lottery courier service. Okay. All right.
Hi, Elliot in the morning.
This is me?
Yes, hi. Who is this?
Dylan.
Hey, what's up, Dylan?
Hey, I just wanted to comment one thing. 7-Eleven will only sell you tickets from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yeah, see, I'm telling you, I've asked in the middle of the night. I've asked twice. One guy was just like, can't do it. And I was like, okay, don't know you, lazy. So when I saw my regular dude, I asked him, and he was like, I can't sell you a ticket right now. I was like, crap.
All the Wawas will sell them 24/7, though.
Oh, Wawa goes 247, huh?
Yeah.
Why won't the Southland Corporation do it?
I have no clue.
Why would you allow Wawa to corner
It'd be
midnight
one thing
shift?
if it was a state law.
Or is it you just don't want that kind of... No, because they put all that money in the little Rolo thing and push that button. I've seen that happen before. You pay for something with a 20 in the middle of the night, you're going to stand there for a while. I know the cup of coffee is $1.65. All I have is a 20 left.
You look at him like, ooh, a 20.
Listen, I'm sketched out by everybody that walks in. I will die in that store. I wouldn't want to be them knowing you got to register. But they just don't want the money on premise? Why would you let Wawa kick your ass up and down the street like that? Brownie in the tube. Where am I going? Line 4? Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hi, is this me?
Yeah, hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Heather Timbers, or Heather from Loudoun County.
Yes.
I actually work in a gas station, and I heard, I guess I picked up on you because I'm streaming you, but I heard basically you're saying, there's a certain time that you can't get tickets.
Yeah, my 7-Eleven won't sell them to me at 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I think it's the cutoff. I want to say it's 2, and then we can't sell them again until 6.
So why does Wawa...
that's why Wawa, I guess it's the lottery rules and all that.
Well, no, the guy just called and said Wawa sells them 24/7.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I know our machine gets cut off at a certain time. And so like we can't do anything. So that's really weird. But yeah, I just want to let you know because I'm actually working right now, and you know, I know our machines get cut off at like 5. No, I want to say it's 2, and then they get cut back on at 6.
So at 2 a.m. is when they go off.
Yeah,
So they're
but I
down
don't know
for 4.
what Wawa has going on where they can sell them all day because that's not how it really runs with the lottery. Like they cut off the machines, and then I mean, we really can't do anything. Sign back on until a certain time in the morning.
Well, sounds like Wawa's running some underground business.
That's what it sounds like. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
so I just wanted to let you know, man. I'm a big fan of yours.
I appreciate it. That's very kind of you.
So cool to talk to you. All right, Elliot, have a good day.
You got it. Talk to you later. Yes, Tyler.
It sounds like back to Jack Pocket, which only has 2 stars. It's not great. It sounds like we read courier service to be like a person in a van.
Right.
I think that's just the classification of the business.
So I don't even have to leave. There is no courier service. They're just the go-between.
Play your favorite games like Powerball and Mega Millions. Get notified when your ticket is available to view. High-quality ticket scan provided.
Perfect.
Get real-time results. Never worry about losing a ticket again. Get alerts when you've won. And winning credits are automatically and instantly applied. Replay your winnings or withdraw the credits to a verified bank account. So there's nobody that's coming to your house.
So you don't even have to leave the house.
All online, yeah. Well, no, we never had to in the first place.
Yeah, no. But what I'm saying, yeah, you're right. But nobody's got to come to your house. Nothing. All you got to do is just hit click.
Yeah. How many states authorize this?
That's genius.
It doesn't have
the
a
only
list.
thing you have to be careful of is that somebody doesn't steal your phone. And is this also one of those things, though, where, you know how like Park Mobile or any of those parking apps will tell you, this doesn't guarantee you're not going to get a ticket.
Right.
Is this one of those where it's like, well, this is a ticket, but it may not be accepted?
It's a high-quality scan. There we go, jackpocket.com. Let's see if they have a list of states.
That is good. I don't need the video. Look at that, Mega Millions. 180 million. By the way, they got it all laid out as to what the jackpots are, what you have to click on. Let's see. I can play in New York. I can play in California.
Coming soon.
Oh, coming soon.
That's
coming
it.
soon. Wait, so I can play in New York and that's it?
6 games supported in New York.
Oh, come on. Jackpocket. Let's go. So there's, by the way, why don't we just start our own Crank Pocket and just do the other 49 states that they're not in?
All right, we need app designer.
That's easy. I can design an app.
Is it?
Yeah. Watch a YouTube how-to video. I can design an app.
Okay.
I can have an app designed by noon. It ain't gonna look good, but I can have it done. Who cares? As long as you could bet money, who cares?
I just registered Pocket Pool. Is that anything? Like a pool of money.
Hi, Elliot. In the morning.
Hi, is this me?
Yeah. Hi. Who's this?
Hi, this is Annalisa.
Yes, Annalisa. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Good. What can I do for you?
Excellent. Well, I'm an overnight manager at Wawa, and most all Wawas now have the automated lottery dispensing machines, and they automatically shut down every day at 2:30 or 12:30 in the morning, and they reboot at 4:30 in the morning.
Why
and that's
is
just something that the lottery machine, I guess they download in the information, the winning numbers and so forth. I'm not sure why it does it, but yeah, it's from 12:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. is our shut-off point.
So why? Well, first of all, so Wawa's not 24/7.
No, they don't do lottery 24/7. No, not even scratch tickets.
So why? Oh, I can't even buy a scratcher?
No, sir. Everything is all done through the
it's like blue
the
laws.
automatic lottery dispensers. You know, the machines.
Well, I'll tell you what. People think Wawa is selling them all night. Number one. Number two. Why can't I get a uniform answer on the times that you can and can't buy?
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe different machines go down at different times, but our machine downloads every night from 12:30 a.m. to 4:30 a.m.
I gotcha. Wait,
so maybe
is that...
it's different in different locations. I'm not sure, but
I
know
gotcha.
that...
So it's not all of Wawa. That's your Wawa.
Correct. Exactly. Well, like I said, I know that all the machines go down at some point in time because it's got to download the new information and you know the new game information and all that. So they've got to go down at some point. But I mean, I've been to 7-Eleven before in the middle of the night and bought scratch tickets.
Yeah, I don't play the
I haven't
scratchers.
been able to play numbers, but
Yeah, I don't play the scratchers. Hey, do you just eat tasty cakes all night? Hello?
Oh, say it again. I'm sorry.
Oh, do you just eat tasty cakes all night?
Tasty cakes, no.
I would. I'd house some cherry tasty cakes all night long.
Crumb cake.
So good. Hi, Elliot in the morning.
Hey, let me go on record here by saying, how long before there's kiosks in all these stores where you can just walk up, swipe your credit card, and cinch out your own ticket and walk out of the store?
You know what? That's not bad either.
That's a deal. That's
But you know what?
But
Here's where I'll tell you that I don't see that happening. They don't want general public buying or handling the machines that print out lottery tickets. Too easy to jack with.
No, that can't be. Not if it's right there in front of. There's got to be a way that you can have it. They have a kiosk for everything.
But don't you agree? Don't you feel like that's going to get into a gray area of people being able to touch and manipulate the machine that's printing out the tickets?
You'd have more people buying lottery tickets. You ever walk into a store and there's 7,000 people in line to buy a lottery ticket, and you're like, hell with this, I'll just buy tomorrow.
No, because then I just go get another thing of chips or gum and make my way back over there. I'm good to go. I've never walked out of a convenience store because the line's too long.
Kiosk, man. You can buy anything at a kiosk.
I just feel like that I just feel like putting that in somebody's hands is rough.
But you're talking about like Powerball and Mega Millions. You can get scratch off at a kiosk.
Oh yeah, I've never done scratch offs though.
Those exist.
Yeah, that I've never done.
You've never done a scratch off ticket ever?
I've never bought a scratch off ticket. The only time I've
never
done
bought one, but I've scratched one before.
Oh yeah, no, like if somebody like
put them in birthday cards.
Yeah, and somebody will give you like a scratcher. Yeah, but no, I've never walked up and bought one. I do love the people that go up and they know which ones they want to buy, and they buy a bunch of them too. But no, I've never gone up and bought one. I wouldn't know which one to buy. Give me funny money. Give me 3 red lights and one bozo bucks. Like I would have no idea which ones to buy.
Bozo bucks.
Yes, and he's the guy making our app.
Yeah.
All right, let me take a quick break. We'll come back. Diane's got dirt next.
Elliot in the morning.
Let's get into some dirt, please.
The New Orleans music community in mourning today after musician Alan Toussaint passed away in Madrid at the age of 77. I guess he had just performed last night, and he ended up passing away Madrid time earlier this morning after suffering a heart attack. You also remember the story about Daniel Fleetwood, the very, very sick young man who wanted as his last wish to see the new Star Wars movie, which he was granted after that hashtag ended up going viral and getting so much attention last week. He ended up seeing the movie on Thursday. He passed away this morning, according to a post from his wife. Daniel Fleetwood dead in Houston at the age of 32. Big night tonight for the Republican presidential hopefuls. Fox Business running the latest debate with host Neil Cavuto and Maria Bartiromo. Also a new episode of Fresh Off the Boat. Also a new episode of The Voice tonight on NBC. NBC deciding to renew that show Blind Spot, their freshman drama, the first new show to be renewed for a second season. They've been averaging about 12.7 million viewers since they debuted back at the end of September.
Yeah, no, that show's done well.
Tracy Morgan feeling lucky today to celebrate birthday number 47.
Good for him.
Obviously keeping it probably a little bit low key as he is celebrating with family and friends in New York. Breaking Bad. Some of the cast members will be in D.C. today as they're going to hand over some memorabilia to the National Museum of American History.
How old is Christy Brinkley?
She's in her 60s.
God damn it.
Late 60s?
Look at her. Well, she looks great, doesn't she?
She does.
I mean, there's not
amazing.
There's not a sag in there.
No, it's amazing.
61.
Wow.
And look at her body. Look at her boobs. What?
Well, John Mellencamp's hitting that, right? Are they still together?
Oh, that's gross. You know what? Now that bothers me.
Now she's tainted.
Now she does have old age on her. Ugh.
Huffington posted a list of the cover songs that are better than the originals. There are some givens on there, like Jimi Hendrix doing All Along the Watchtower. Also, Jeff Buckley's Hallelujah.
Hallelujah,
the original
right.
done by Leonard Cohen.
Although Leonard Cohen's version's great.
Chili Peppers' Higher Ground, Respect, Aretha Franklin, originally an Otis Redding song.
Otis Redding.
Johnny Cash doing Hurt by Nine Inch Nails, and obviously Whitney Houston doing I Will Always Love You, originally recorded by Dolly Parton. Some of the ones, though, that people are complaining about, Mumford & Sons' version of Simon Garfunkel's The Boxer and the Foo Fighters cover of Baker Street by Jerry Rappler.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. The View wants Gwyneth Paltrow to come in to try and save their show. They said that's the latest angle that they're going through. You remember not too long ago they were trying to get like Chelsea Clinton to come on and maybe save the show. There's a new Tom Petty biography that is coming out today, talking about how he was actually addicted to heroin back in the 90s, but this was all kept as a secret up until just recently when he started to do press for the book. He said the first thing was when they were talking about his addiction, saying, I'm very concerned that talking about this is going to put a bad example out there for young people. He was like, because I don't want people to think that heroin is an option. So maybe if I tell my story, then I'll be able to stop people. But his new biography called Petty is available today.
Hey, did you pick who you think is going to win out of the 5 finalists?
For what?
The 2015 Miss Bum Bum Brazil.
Yes.
Here's your finalists. Do you have one that you think will win?
Remember, it's a seasonal contest.
I know. No, I know. By the way, look at that one. Look at that one right there. That's high and tight right there. What goes on right there? What do I make?
I don't answer that question.
The fudge, Diane.
Fathom Events is doing one of those things for the 25th anniversary of Home Alone. If you didn't get to see it in theaters over the weekend, there's one more chance for you to see the original in theaters tomorrow. Again, Fathom Events has all the local theaters that are doing that. Madonna announcing that actor and DJ Idris Elba is going to be opening her show in Berlin. He is also among the voices that you'll hear and see when you watch the new first trailer for Finding Nemo's sequel called Finding Dory. His voice is on there. Ty Burrell, Ed O'Neill, Willem Dafoe. Ellen DeGeneres is back, obviously, in the title role. Albert Brooks is back, and Diane Keaton and Eugene Levy are going to lend their voices to be the parents of Dory.
All right, very good. Thank you very much, Diane. One quick break. We'll wrap everything up next.
Elliot in the morning.